All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Another exciting night of NBA basketball. We got the Detroit Pistons taking on the Brooklyn Nets. This is the first game for the Pistons of the Emirates Group Cup play. So they're going to be on the road, taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Starting five for the Pistons: Cade, Duncan, Asar, Beef Stew, and Duren. Out is Harris, Ivy, and Marcus Sasser, man. Appreciate you guys all tuning into the stream. Going to give you guys the best play-by-play reaction, in-depth analysis as I possibly can. Moments away from tip-off. Here we go. Tip-off is under control by Asar Thompson and the Detroit Pistons, man. Asar at the top of the key. Beef Stew inside the paint. Duren looking to set the screen for Asar. Gets it at the top of the key. Back to Cade. Cade guarded by Claxton. Cade top of the key for three. Good. Cade Cunningham, three-pointer to start the game. Motorcade, Ice Cade with the first bucket of the game. Here come the Brooklyn Nets back the other way. Cade guarding the Nets here at the top of the key. Gets it back to Claxton. Back outside of Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann outside for the corner for Clowney for three. Clowney hits it for three. We got a 3-3 basketball game to start the game. 2 threes back and forth from Cade and Clowney to start the game here, and Cade's going to try and answer the call. Cade gets it back outside to Beef Stew. Beef Stew lost the handle, turned over by Isaiah Stewart. Here come the Brooklyn Nets. Terrence Mann to full court. Mann outside for the corner three. Good. That is Yomick, I believe, for the Brooklyn Nets. Hits a three for 6-3 for the Brooklyn Nets here. Asar to full court, up and in. Misses it to go. Terrence Mann back for the Brooklyn Nets to full score, coming the other way, guarded by Cade. Terrence Mann with the basketball. Michael Porter Jr. with the basketball, guarded by Duncan Robinson. Porter, jump shot, off the mark, boarded by Jalen Duren. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Duren to full court. Cade for three. Cade off the mark, boarded by Michael Porter Jr. 10-20 left to play here in the game. Here come the Brooklyn Nets to full court, led by Michael Porter. Nets all the way to the rim, up and in. 8-3 basketball game. Igor Demin, 8th pick in the 2025 NBA draft out of BYU. He's got himself 5 points to start the game. And the Nets have an 8-3 lead to start the game. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, like, and subscribe. If you guys are new, Jordi Fernandez, second season as the Nets head coach, 27-63 record. It's crazy that the Nets had Kyrie, KD, James Harden all at one point, couldn't get together. Pistons back the other way. Jalen Duren inside. Duren with the nice easy layup, 8-5. Pistons cut it back down to 3. 9:45 left to play here in the game. Demin with the basketball, guarded by Duncan Robinson. Demin trying to make a man miss. Gets it back outside. Still with the basketball. Gets it to Clowney for three. Clowney for three gets it to go. 11-5 basketball game for the Brooklyn Nets. That's Clowney's second triple of the night here. Clock still rolling. 9:24 left to play in the first quarter. Here come Asar Thompson and the Pistons. Asar gets it to Cade. Duren off the screen. Duren to the rim. Posterizes Clowney for a huge slam. And the Pistons take an 11-7 deficit here. But what a poster from Duren over Clowney inside. Clowney, third triple on the way, is up and good. Clowney's got the hot hand right now. He's 3 for 3 from three-point land. And the Pistons are down 7 here. Cade turns it over, trying to find Beef Stew inside. Here comes Nick Claxton with the basketball. Claxton back to Clowney for his 4-3. Off the mark, Beef Stew with the rebound. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Duncan Robinson inside to Beef Stew for the slam. 14-9 basketball game. What's up, Will? Here comes Demin to full court for the Brooklyn Nets. Guarded by Cade Cunningham. 8:30 left to play here in the first quarter. 14-9 basketball game. Michael Porter Jr. wants it. He's got it. Stolen away by Jalen Duren. Duren the other way. Duren all the way to the rim. Off the mark. Nice play by Jalen Duren. But it's going to be off the rim. Here come the Nets back the other way. Clowney Looking for his 4-3 of the game. He hits it up and in, and Clowney is on fire. 17-9 basketball game. What's going on, BDB? Buster, appreciate you stopping in, dude. No problem, dude. What's going on, man? So Noah Clowney, 12 points, 4 for 5 from 3. He's got the hot hand for the Brooklyn Nets tonight. And it looks like the Pistons are going to be taking a timeout here, trying to regroup here as we approach possibly a commercial break here. But Clowney has the hot hand for the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like and subscribe. If you guys are new, this is the NBA Group Cup play qualifying section here. They're going to see if this is a technical foul called on Beef Stew. It looked like after Clowney hit the 3, Beef Stew was running back the other way and ran over Claxton. They want to make sure that wasn't any ill intent involved. So 17-9 basketball game. Refs are taking a look at this to make sure there wasn't anything flagrant on this play here. But Clowney, 4 for 5 from the three-point line to start this game, 12 points. Igor Demon has 5 points for the Brooklyn Nets as well. Yeah, it looked like it was kind of more of a flop going back the other way from Claxton. I don't really see how this could be a technical foul called on Isaiah Stewart. They're taking a look at this right now. 8 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Nets are up by 8. Clowney has the hot hand right now. He's been shooting the lights out for the Nets tonight so far. Yeah, so immediately after Clowney hit it, Beef Stew was trying to get the rebound, and he got caught up with Claxton's jersey, and Claxton kind of flopped toward the ground. But they're going to review this to make sure it wasn't anything ill-intentional. I don't think it is. They're going to review this, though, to see if Beef Stew's going to get a technical foul called on him. If you guys are new to the stream, hit the like button, subscribe. What's going on, everybody? Let me know who's here in the chat. Welcome, 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 guys. Brooklyn takes a 17-9 lead. They're reviewing the play call right now. There's 8 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Clowney hit a 3 from the corner, and after the ball went through the hole, Beef Stew kind of ran into Nick Claxton, and Claxton fell to the ground. So they're waiting to see if this is going to be called a technical foul right now on Isaiah Stewart. They're still taking a look at it. Usually the longer they take to look at things, the more unlikely it is to be a technical foul, just maybe a common foul. Or possibly a flop. I don't really think Claxton fell because he tripped him or pushed him. That kind of looked like more of a flop to me, but we'll see what the call is here. The criteria for a flagrant 1 foul is unnecessary contact by any player against the movement off the basketball. Flagrant 2 is unsportsmanlike act, and the offender is ejected following the confirmation of the review. So 2 flagrant 1s, you're gone. If it's a flagrant 2, you're ejected. Same thing with unsportsmanlike calls. If you get 2 unsportsmanlike warnings on the same player, you're gone from the game. So still taking a look at this review here. Cade and Beef Stew are kind of chatting it up on the sidelines right now on the bench. Still reviewing this play here. No play has been in effect since the Clowney triple from the corner. Here we go. Here's the call. It is a flagrant 1 foul called on Isaiah Stewart. So they found enough reason to give him a flagrant foul. It was going to be a loose ball common foul after the basket went through, but they upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. So the Nets are going to be shooting a couple free throws, and they're also going to get the basketball back. So kind of unfortunate for the Detroit Pistons right there. But they're going to just try and bounce back and regroup as they kind of try to bounce back here. So Claxton at the line shooting the technical foul free throw. Claxton up and in. 18-9 basketball game. So he's got 1 more technical foul free throw attempt, and they're also going to get the basketball back, I'm pretty sure. Claxton hits the second technical foul, and it's a 19-9 Brooklyn Nets lead here. So Clowney inbounds the basketball. Beef Stew guarding Clowney. You got Duran, Isaiah Stewart, Asar, Cade, and Duncan on the floor right now for the Pistons. Terrence Mann with the basketball, guarded by Duncan. Man, inside to Porter. Porter, it's going to be called for a travel, and it's going to be going back the Pistons' way here. 19-9 basketball game. Pistons trying to cut the deficit here. Brooklyn Nets, one of the worst teams in the NBA to start the season here. They did get a big win against the Pacers a couple days ago, so they're going to see if they can continue to keep this grooving here. So Cade coming back down the other way for the Pistons. Guarded by Terrence Mann. Cade at the top of the key. Terrence Mann giving him all he can, and that's going to be a turnover, over and back call violation, and the Pistons turn it over. A rare turnover misfire from Cade. Terrence Mann was right in Cade's face, and Cade stepped over the half-court line. That's a backcourt violation, and the Nets regain possession here. So Pistons with their 4th turnover in the game here, midway through the first quarter. Demon inside to Mann. Mann has the basketball, guarded by Duncan Robinson on the corner 3. Duncan trying to give him heck. Mann off the rim. Terrence Mann loses the handle. Back to Duncan Robinson. Here come the Pistons. Duncan back to Isaiah Stewart. Inside to Asar. Asar slams it home. Cuts it back down to an 8-point deficit. 19-11 Nets. 7 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Here comes Demon and the Nets. Clowney thought about a 3, guarded by Beef Stew. Inside to Claxton. Beef Stew switches to Claxton. Duran now guards Clowney. Clowney working inside. Jump shot is off the mark. Beef Stew with the rebound. Here comes Cade Cunningham to full court. Cade at the top of the key. Gets it back to Beef Stew. Beef Stew thought about a 3. Tries to get it inside. Beautiful lob pass to Jalen Duran. And Duran gets fouled by Demon. And Duran is going to be going to the free throw line here. And I believe we're going to get our first commercial break of the night. So, kind of a weird first quarter so far. 6:50 left to play here. Duran had an absolute poster over Clowney. Clowney's been lighting it up from 3 for the Nets so far. We got a commercial break coming up on the way. And Duran is going to be taking a couple free throws here. So, appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? Like and subscribe if you guys are new. We're going to be doing pretty much as many Pistons basketball games as we can this year. And, yeah, hopefully you guys are having a great, fantastic evening. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Welcome to the party. Hopefully you guys are all doing a fantastic 19-11 basketball game here. Pistons down 8, trying to get things rocking and rolling here. Cade has a triple tonight. Clowney has been killing us from the 3-point line tonight. Duran with 4 points, Cade with 3, Asar with 2. So, no points yet from Duncan Robinson. He does have an assist and a steal. But Clowney has got 12 points. He's been leading the way here for the Brooklyn Nets. So, unfortunate technical foul call on Isaiah Stewart. It was weird. He kind of got caught up in the jersey of Claxton, kind of like boxing him out, and then Clowney hit the 3, and then as he was turning, he kind of like knocked over Claxton. I didn't think it was anything ill-intentional about it, but they called it a flagrant 1 foul. So that's unfortunate, but Pistons are down 8 here, midway through the first quarter here, so they're going to try and see if they can get back on the offensive agenda here for the Pistons. They were a heavy favorite tonight. I believe they were like a 10.5 point spread for the favor for the Pistons. So, not too shabby. But Pistons got the 76ers on Sunday. So, they got the Nets tonight, day off tomorrow. They travel to Philly. I believe that game's in Philly. Let me double check here. Yeah, that game's on the road against a really good Sixers team, Sunday night basketball. So, I'll be bringing that game for you guys as well. And then we'll do Bulls, Pistons next Wednesday. Then we got the Sixers again next Friday. So, pretty snazzy. So, looking to bounce back here for the Pistons. Pistons down 9. Back from a commercial break here. They're going to see if the Pistons can get their groove going here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. Welcome, 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 guys. Let me know who's here in the chat. I promise I don't bite. We're here to talk about Pistons basketball. Shout out to all the Brooklyn Nets fans that are watching as well. Yeah, appreciate you guys all being here. What's going on, Jake? How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you stopping in. What do you guys think of this NBA in-season cup? Do you like it? Do you hate it? This is the second season, I believe, of this. Kind of fun. I know a lot of soccer teams do it in a bunch of soccer leagues all over the world. They have like a mid-season tournament. So I don't mind it, but not too shabby here. So Jalen Duren at the free throw line. First free throw attempt on the way is up and through. 19-12 basketball game. Duren has been a much better free throw shooter over the years as the Detroit Pistons, and his plus or minus rating has been phenomenal when he's on the floor for the Stones this year to start the season. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? Second free throw is up and through, and the Pistons cut the deficit back down to 6. So Demon to full court for the Nets here, guarded by Cade Cunningham. Demon at the top of the key, looking to make something happen. Michael Porter sets the screen. Asar tried to swipe it, can't get it to go. Porter for 3. That is off the mark. Clowney tried to slam it home. It's off the rim. Here come Asar. Asar gets it to Duncan for the corner. Gets it back outside to Cade. Cade driving to the rim. Cade with the right hand. Tough finish. Gets it to go. 19-15 basketball game. Pistons cut it back down to 4. Demon gets it back outside Terrence Mann, takes a jump shot, hits it to go. 3-pointer on the way, good for Terrence Mann. 22-15 basketball game. Cade Cunningham back the other way for the Pistons. 6 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Cade, guarded by Demon, gets it back outside to Asar. Asar driving to the rim. Jump hook shot on the way is no good. Boarded by Demon, gets it back to Clowney. Clowney come back the other way, guarded by Beef Stew. Clowney to Demon. And a foul call is called on, I believe, Asar Thompson away from the basketball. It's going to stay here with the Nets. 5:50 left to play here in the first quarter. And Bobby Klintman checks into the game here for the Pistons. Love to see it, man. Wow. So Beef Stew and Asar Thompson check out of the game, and Bobby Klintman, second season for the Pistons, he checks into the basketball game. Let's go, Bobby. Let's see what you got, kid. They spent a second-round pick on Bobby a couple years ago from Sweden. Solid big, and hopefully he can give us some solid minutes here with, again, no Tobias Harris in this game. Duncan Robinson steals it off the inbound pass. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Duncan Robinson all the way to the hole, and they're going to count the bucket. It looked like it was a goaltending play on Claxton, excuse me. So that's going to count. 22-17 basketball game. Pistons cut the deficit back down to 5. If you guys are new to the stream, like the live stream, subscribe. It's free. It helps me out. And if you guys decide I suck later, you can change your mind, and I won't cry, I promise. Bobby Klintman with the rebound. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Cade tried to get an inbound pass. He was begging for a kick ball. He finally gets the kick ball. It's going to stay here with the Pistons. Nets tried a 3. It was off the mark. And the Pistons come back the other way. So 22-17 basketball game. Cade was trying to find Duren inside. And Claxton and Clowney were kind of kicking the basketball there. Different sport there, guys. 5:27 left to play here in the first quarter. Pistons down 7. Ron Holland checks into the basketball game here for the Pistons. Gets it inside to Cade. Top of the key, guarded by the Nets. Here we go. Cade inside to Duren. Duren gets it back to Bobby Klintman. Klintman back outside. He's going to be turning this one over here all the way at the opposite end of the court where the Nets will take over. So the first touch that Bobby Klintman gets inside the post, he turns it over. That's just kind of maybe a little bit of a nervous adjustment from the second-year man out of Sweden, Bobby Klintman. Never thought I would call his name on the floor for the Pistons, but here we are. So the Nets inbound to Porter. Porter slams it home. Kind of a backdoor cut here, 24-17. Pistons basketball coming back down the other way. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Jalen Duren with the basketball, guarded by Claxton. Duren working on Claxton. He's fouled by Claxton inside. So it's going to stay here with the Pistons. What's up, Dina? How you doing? 4:50 left to play here in the first quarter. Nets have a 7-point lead here. Pistons were, I believe, a 9.5-point favorite. And Claxton fouls Duren. Duren's at the free throw line. First free throw attempt for Jalen Duren here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? What's up? What's up? Duren, first free throw on the way, is up and in. 24-18 basketball game. Caris LeVert checks into the game here for the Pistons. 4:55 left to play here in the first quarter. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Sharp also checks into the game here for the Brooklyn Nets. Duren, second free throw on the way, is up and in. 24-19 basketball game. So here come the Brooklyn Nets. Inside to Porter for the slam. 26-19 Brooklyn Nets. Cade Cunningham back the other way for the Pistons. Duren sets the screen for Cade. Cade back outside to Ron Holland, top of the key, working on Michael Porter. Bobby Klintman for three. Way off the mark. Duren tried to get the basketball. It looks like it's going to be a loose ball foul staying here against the Brooklyn Nets. 26-19 game, 4:27 left to play here in the first quarter. Sharp is called for the foul on Duren. Day'Ron Sharp with the foul. Cade Cunningham looking inbound here to Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert top of the key. Inside to Cade. Cade at the top of the key, rolls to his right. Crosses over, working on inside. Back to Bobby Klintman for three, working inside. Bobby Klintman going to the rim. Off the mark here, boarded by the Nets. I want Bobby to score. I don't think he has an NBA basket in his career yet, so that'd be cool to see. Back outside of the Brooklyn Nets, off the mark for the three. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Caris LeVert with the basketball. LeVert gets it to Bobby Klintman. Cade for three. Cade off the mark. Boarded by Porter Jr. Back outside to Clowney. Clowney working inside. He's going to be a foul called, I believe, on Cade for the reach-in foul. 3:46 left to play here in the first quarter. Brooklyn Nets are 1-7. Pistons are 5-2. Brooklyn looking to upset the Pistons here in this game. So Clowney at the free throw line. First free throw attempt on the way is up and good. 27-19 basketball game. 3:46 left to play here in the first quarter. Pistons are in the bonus. Paul Reed checks into the game for the Pistons. Cade comes out of the game here. So interesting lineup for the Pistons on the floor right now. You got Ron Holland, Bobby Klintman, Paul Reed, Ausar, and Caris LeVert. Duren also checks out of the game here for the Pistons. He sits down with a breather. So Noah Clowney, he's been averaging 7 points a game. He already has 13 in the first quarter. Clowney, second free throw up and out. Nets try to save it. They do. Gets it back outside to Clowney, guarded by Ausar. Ausar working on the Nets here. Stolen away by Paul Reed. Nice job by Paul Reed to get it back. Here come the Pistons and Ausar Thompson back the other way. Ausar to full court. Spins inside. Feeds it to Bobby Klintman for the slam. 27-21 Pistons. I gotta double check that, but I believe that's Bobby Klintman's first career basket as a Piston in the NBA. Don't quote me on that, but it's one of few I believe he has. Ausar coming back the other way. Ausar inside to Paul Reed. Paul Reed trying to find Ausar. Gets it back inside to Ron Holland. Ron Holland stole it. Loses it. Here come the Nets back the other way. Holland can't get to go. Working on Martin, and Martin gets the deuce. 29-21 Pistons. Caris LeVert for three. In and out. Boarded by Sharp. Here come the Nets back the other way. 29-21 basketball game. 2:30 left to play here in the first quarter. Sharp for three. No good. Boarded inside by Ron Holland. Here come Ausar Thompson and the Pistons back the other way. 2:25 left to play here in the first quarter. Ausar working at the top of the key. Guarded by Martin. Inside to Bobby. Bobby back outside to Caris LeVert. Clowney on him. LeVert trying to make him miss. LeVert drives to his right. Fires it back inside. Off Paul Reed. Paul Reed's trying to maintain possession. And it looks like it's going to be turned over from the Pistons. It's going to be back the other way for the Brooklyn Nets. So 29-21 lead for the Brooklyn Nets. We got a commercial break coming up here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Each team has used a timeout in this game. So 29-21, we got a commercial break coming up. Let me know who's here in the chat. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Occasionally my webcam will be all out of focus. I have to readjust it every now and then. So Paul Reed gets called for a kick ball violation. So it's going to be Brooklyn Nets basketball coming back the other way. Approaching the final seconds here in the first quarter. Pistons, a little bit sloppy to start the first quarter here. They're usually always a second half team. But a couple stats. Cade's got 5 points, 2 assists. Asar's got 2 points, a board, assist, and a steal. Bobby Klintman's got 2 points and 2 rebounds. Didn't think they were going to use Bobby Klintman tonight. Yeah, got to get Duncan Robinson some more 3-point attempts tonight as well. But Pistons down 8. They're 6-2. Brooklyn's 1-7. Pistons were, I think, a 10.5-point favorite coming into tonight's game. So we're in a commercial break right now. Pistons got to take more threes, be more aggressive on the outside. Again, that was what was so effective for the Pistons last year is, again, partly because of Malik Beasley, but we lost Malik Beasley. Now Cade's got to find some more opportunities to create his own shot. Durant and Stewart, I like that combination with both bigs on the floor here. Stewart kind of has a jump shot, but we do miss that wing presence from Tobias, so hopefully Tobias can return for the Sunday game against the Sixers. But this team is really lacking from three right now. The really only shooter we have is Duncan Robinson, who's been solid so far for the Pistons this year, just not as good as Malik Beasley. Obviously you got Cade, who can create his own shot if he needs to. He's got 3 turnovers so far in the first quarter already. And then again, we're counting on like Karis LeVert. Javonte Green occasionally can shoot it. We drafted Chaz Lanier in the second round. We drafted him strictly because he is a 3-point shooter. But Tobias and Jaden Ivey are 2 guys that you kind of need in this rotation to be successful down the stretch. So we're going to see what the Pistons can bring here. 2:09 back from commercial break. So they're still relying on Karis LeVert, Klintman, Paul Reed, Asar, and Ron Holland. Pretty young core out here with the Pistons, along with a couple vets in Karis LeVert and Paul Reed. So we're going to see if this lineup works out well for the Pistons tonight. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like the live stream if you guys are new. Subscribe. It's free. It helps out the stream. What's going on, everybody? We're going to be doing as many Pistons basketball games as we can this year. And we're going to have some fun. So Porter inside to Martin. Martin back the other way for the Nets. Porter guarded by Ron Holland. Back outside to Martin. Trying to set up the offense here. Guarded by Asar. Gets it back to Porter, who's guarded by Karis LeVert at the top of the key. Porter trying to make LeVert miss. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Porter's got to just chuck it up. Air ball, shot clock violation, great defense from Karis LeVert, and it's going to be going back the other way for the Detroit Pistons. 1:45 left to play here in the first quarter. Nets up 8. Pistons are still in the bonus. Back the other way for the Pistons comes Karis LeVert. Paul Reed sets the screen for Karis LeVert. Paul Reed working inside, gets it back. Left-handed layup is up and in. Nice move from Paul Reed. 29-23. Paul Reed has been so solid for the Pistons. An underrated bench piece for us. A stolen away by Paul Reed. Here come the Pistons. Asar Thompson for the slam. Nobody guarding him within a 5-mile radius. Asar with the slam, and the Pistons cut the deficit back down to 4 here. 29-25 basketball game, a minute left to play here in the first quarter. Nets up 4, Pistons are still in the bonus. Pistons. Sharp inside, working on Paul Reed. 5 seconds left to play here. Nets take a 3 off the mark. Porter tried to get it. Back here come the Pistons. What's going on, Max? How you doing? LeVert with the basketball. Yeah, nobody can hit a 3 right now to save their lives. Asar working on the corner, working on Porter. Holland back outside to LeVert. LeVert for 3. Off the mark. Paul Reed's going to be called for a loose ball foul going back the other way. So Nets come back down the floor, up 4 with 30 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Nice Euro step layup from Paul Reed. Again, he's a guy that can give us defense. He's a guy that can go to the rim, create his own shot. Paul Reed's been solid for the Pistons so far. Glad we re-signed him. All right, so Ron Holland working on the Nets. Stolen away by Karis LeVert once again. Back up to Ausar. Again, another slam for the Pistons. 29-27 basketball game. Ausar back-to-back dunks off the 2 steals from Karis LeVert. Here come the Nets back the other way, guarded by Ausar from Martin at the top of the key. Martin trying to make Ausar miss. Ausar working on Martin. Martin off the glass. No good. Here come the Pistons back the other way. 1 second left. Ausar from full court, and he's going to be off the mark. 29-27. And that's how the first quarter ends here. We got a commercial break coming up for the second quarter coming up here. So nobody can really hit a 3 to save their life. The only guy that was really shooting the lights out was Noah Clowney. He was averaging 7 points a game going into tonight for the Brooklyn Nets, and he already has 12. So Clowney has been doing pretty solid so far. What's up, BD Buster? Thanks for tuning in, dude. Yeah, so I'm going to be breaking down all the Pistons games whenever I can. The ones that are going to be difficult for me to call are Monday and Tuesday because I'm just not home at my studio. But if the game falls pretty much on a Wednesday through a Sunday, you're going to get me calling the Pistons games. So, yeah, appreciate you guys all tuning in, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, Brooklyn Nets. I want to say, how long has their organization been established? They're a pretty fairly new team in the NBA, I want to say. Brooklyn Nets, first year. Yeah, Pistons got 3 titles, 89-90 with the Bad Boys and the Going to Work Pistons in 04. Brooklyn Nets were founded in 1967, so they were called the New Jersey Americans, the ABA. Okay, that's right. They were originally the New Jersey Nets, and then they switched to the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, so 2012, they moved to Brooklyn. Okay, interesting. So they've been in the NBA for quite some time, but they kind of had a couple name changes throughout the years. That's right, Jason Kidd. He was a big New Jersey Net in his career. Appreciate you, BD. Thank you, dude. So yeah, I mean, Pistons, again, got a young core. Still on a commercial break right now. I like the progression, what I'm seeing so far. And again, point case A for why you don't go all in and spend a fortune to get 1 star. Desmond Bane for the Magic, right? Orlando Magic, they gave up 4 unprotected first-round picks for Desmond Bane, who was a monster with the Memphis Grizzlies, but he's only averaging 13 points a game right now for the Magic. They thought he was going to be a huge piece for them. There's no reason to overspend, cough, cough, Blake Griffin years ago with the Pistons for Stan Van Gundy, that era disaster. Just keep your draft picks, build through the draft, and build around Cade and continue to get him shooters. Tobias Harris, we signed in free agency. That was a great move that Trajan Langdon did. He's been building through the draft. He's not overpaying a crazy amount of money on these guys and giving up draft picks for them. Just keep this is still a super young team. The turnaround's been crazy the last 2 years. This team lost 26 games in a row, and they're in contention for yet another playoff spot this year if they stay healthy. So I like the progression, what I'm seeing from this young core. Back from commercial break here, Sharp guarded by Ausar. Sharp working on Ausar inside, and he gets it to go. 31-27, nice right-handed hook shot from Sharp for the Nets. Cade back the other way. Javonte Green also checks into the game for the Pistons. Paul Reed, Ron Holland, Cade, Ausar, and Javonte Green on the floor. Cade with the basketball guarded by Martin. It's going to be called, I believe, away from the basketball on the Nets. It's going to stay here with the Pistons. 31-27 basketball game in the second quarter. 11:26 left to play here in the second. Nets are holding their ground. Cade is going to shoot a free throw here. It's a technical foul called on the Brooklyn Nets. So Cade shoots a technical foul free throw. He gets it to go. 31-28 Nets. Pistons 6-2 record. Best start since the 2008-2009 season. Cade with the basketball. Working on Martin. Cade goes all the way to the rim. Right-handed finish. Pure butter to the rim. Count the bucket and the foul. Cade Cunningham trying to get possibly here a 4-point possession because he shot the technical foul free throw, gets fouled, going to the rim. 3 right now. He's working to make it a 4-point possession to tie this basketball game at 31 all. Let's see if he can do it. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, man. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. What's going on, everybody? 11:19 left to play here in the second quarter. Cade with the basketball at the free throw line. Cade trying to make it a 4-point possession all by himself, and he gets it to go. 31-31 Pistons, 10-2 run here in the last 2 minutes of the Pistons here. What's up, Rocker? Yeah, Nets are struggling this year. They're 1-7 to start the season. They did get a win against the Pacers a couple days ago. It's going to be turned over by the Nets. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Ron Holland with the steal. Cade inside to Asar. Asar back to Beef Stew for the layup. Beautifully executed. 33-31 Pistons. And the Nets are going to be taking a timeout to think things over, man. So the Nets were down back the other way. They turned it over. Asar stole it. Got it back to go inside to Beef Stew for the finish. And the Pistons take a 33-31 lead, and I believe that's the first lead the Pistons have had since 3-0 when Cade Cunningham shot that 3 to start the game. So 10:52 to play here in the second quarter. We got a commercial break coming up here for the Pistons. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, man. What's going on, everybody? Like and subscribe if you guys are new. Pistons, they got the Brooklyn Nets tonight. This is the Group Cup play, by the way. We also got another Group Cup play game at the Sixers this year, this Sunday. So, some stats to give you guys here. Isaiah Stewart, he's got 4 points, 2 boards, and assists. Duran, 8 points, a board, and a steal. Cade's got 9 points and 2 assists. Asar, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Bobby Clement and Paul Reed both have a bucket apiece coming off of the bench here. So, Clowney was tearing us up from the 3-point line to start this game. They're going to try and see if they can get Clowney back in here early because he was doing pretty solid here for the Brooklyn Nets the other way. So you got Terrence Mann, Zaire Williams, Sharp, Martin, and Powell on the floor for the Nets right now. Stu, Cunningham, Asar, Ron Holland, and Javonte Green for the Pistons. So, still in a commercial break here. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. Cheers to everybody tuning in. Appreciate you guys all being here. So yeah, we got an 82-game season ahead of us here. So again, we're waiting on Jaden Ivey, his progression. Hopefully we can get him back around Thanksgiving. He had to have surgery on that knee right before the season started. It looked like he was expected to start ready to go, and then when he played that first preseason game, he hyperextended something and they had to have knee surgery for him. So we're hoping to get Ivy back as soon as possible because he's a big part of this offense, and we're relying on him to in a contract year perform this year. If he can be an all-star caliber type player, the Pistons can reach for the stars in the East this year. What's up, Jimmy? Robinson doesn't have anything. Yeah, we're still waiting to hear from Duncan Robinson. He's got a couple 3-point shot attempts tonight, but both haven't fallen. So we're waiting to see if Duncan Robinson can get the 3-point game going. That's the problem right now for the Pistons. This is where we're hurting for Jaden Ivey. Ivey can add some 3-point shooting when needed. But Duncan Robinson really is our only shooter. You can maybe argue Karis LeVert, but LeVert isn't really as good of a shooter as Duncan is. Duncan literally only shoots threes. That's why he's on the team right now. But we're going to see what happens with the spacing moving forward with K. But that's why Malik Beasley was such a big loss, is because he could shoot lights out 40% last year and a big floor spacing piece last year. So here come the Nets. Martin for 3. Off the mark. It's going to be a loose ball foul going against the Pistons. They're going to stay here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on? Pistons up 2, 33-31. Pistons were down 10 points at one point in the first quarter. Clowney was shooting the lights out from 3. Now they regained the possession. They're up on a 10-2 run right now. So, Looking sloppy to start the first quarter, but start of the second, we've looked pretty good. Martin for three. Way off the mark. Boarded by Ron Holland. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Holland to Beef Stew to full court. Beef Stew, Sharp working on Beef Stew at the top of the key. Gives it back outside to Ron Holland. Ron Holland steps out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover on Ron Holland, and the Pistons are going to lose possession here. So Martin with the basketball coming back the other way. Terrence Mann with the basketball gives it back outside to Sharp. Sharp at the top of the key, guarded by Beef Stew. Sharp still working on Beef Stew, trying to make him miss. Still giving him a problem here. Top of the key. Powell with the basketball. Powell almost turns it over. Javonte Green with the swipe. Yeah, Ron Holland can he can hold his own in the paint sometimes. Yeah, 6'8". He's a guy that can be a real nice defensive secret weapon off the bench for the Pistons. Occasionally, he'll shoot some threes. It's not really why he's like on the team, but if he can get a jump shot going, that's another piece for the Pistons offense here. Martin for three, chucks it up, no good. Beef Stew come back the other way. Beef Stew is down. It looks like he's all right. He's limping though, jogging across half court. Hopefully Beef Stew's all right. Cade Cunningham with the basketball at full court. Cade guarded by Powell. Cade working inside on Powell. Cade gets it back outside to Beef Stew, working on the Nets. Cade spot up, corner jump shot, no good. Here come the Nets back the other way. Powell with the rebound, back outside to Martin for three. Martin way off the mark, off Sharp, and it's going to be Pistons basketball. They're going to check on Beef Stew here. He took an awkward landing trying to get a rebound. Looks like he's all right. He's jogging back up and down the floor. There was a little bit of a scary moment, though, where he kind of like was oh, man. Yeah, he rolled that ankle pretty badly. It looks like he's fine, though. It looks like he kind of just slipped on the floor. So he's still limping right now. They're going to check Duran into the game here to replace Beef Stew. It looks like he's fine. He's moving, but not at 100% right now. Ron Holland with the basketball all the way to the rim. Up and in. Ron Holland, nice finish. 35-31 Pistons. 14-2 run here. The last 4 minutes with the Pistons in this game. Cade with the Cade guarded on Terrence Mann. Nets with the basketball here. Back outside to Powell. Powell inside, gets it to go. Much needed hoop for the Nets there to break the deficit. 35-33. Powell, 22nd pick in the draft for the Brooklyn Nets this past season. 8:30 left to play here in the first quarter. Cade's going to take a timeout. Make sure Beef Stew's all right. He's hobbling to the bench. He took an awkward fall when he was going for a rebound. He kind of rolled his ankle. I don't think it's anything serious, but we're going to double check to make sure Beef Stew's okay. 35-33 Pistons, so we get another commercial break coming up. 8:30 left to play here in the first half. Bebop Paul. Yeah, Paul Reed has been a very solid piece for this Pistons team. And I was pleading the past couple games to put Paul Reed more in and get him more minutes, because he's a guy that can play defense. He can create his own shot. He's got a nice little mid-range game. And if Beef Stew or Duran, they're not having the best of games, put Paul Reed in. He can give you solid minutes off the bench when your first unit's off the floor. So, yeah, Paul Reed's been a nice complementary piece for this Pistons team. One of the most underrated players, I think, in the NBA. And he's been around the block. He's been in the NBA for multiple seasons. A nice vet that some of these younger guys can learn from. So, nice surprise from Bobby Klintman. He was checked in early in the first quarter here, and he does have a basket. He looked a little sloppy to start, a little bit nervous, but I believe that's like one of Bobby Klintman's first career baskets, if I'm not mistaken, because he hasn't really had much minutes. He barely played last year, and when he did come in, it was only when we were being blown out or we were up like 30, 40 points. But nice little addition from Bobby Klintman off the bench from Sweden. So, yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what Trajan does at the deadline in February. Again, there's no reason to trade all your draft picks away like the Magic did for Desmond Bane. I mean, 4 first-round picks, and he's averaging 13 a game right now is a little concerning if I'm a Magic fan, but that's the problem. with like the Pistons, we had a really solid foundation. Reggie Jackson, Andre Drummond. We had Bradley Beal. We actually beat that crazy Warrior team. And then we blew it all up for Blake Griffin. And we thought Blake Griffin was going to be the franchise player for this team. And to be fair, he had one good year. He was an all-star. And then he kind of fell off a cliff. But this is the problem, though, when you give up so many draft picks for one guy. One human being. And if they get hurt, your whole future is basically gone. So, kind of nuts. Would you trade for Lauri Markkanen? Yeah, that's been the hot topic around the Pistons. I like Lauri Markkanen a lot. If we didn't have Tobias Harris, I would say maybe make a move for him. But I think Tobias is still a solid stretch four that when he does come back, he can give you the solid minutes that he's been known to do. But Lauri's been a beast so far for the Jazz. So, we'll see. But if it's like 2 first-round picks, I'm probably not doing it. But it depends on the cost for Lauri. Cade inside with the basketball. Come back from commercial break here. Swiped away from the Nets. Going to stay here with Pistons basketball. 35-33 game. 8:30 left to play here in the first half. Cade looking to inbound the basketball here. We got Cade, Ron Holland, Javonte Green, Duncan Robinson, and Jalen Duren on the floor for the Pistons. Cade with the basketball. Cade, spot up 3. On the way is up and in. Cade Cunningham, 38-33 Pistons. That's his second three-pointer of the game. 8:20 left to play here in the first half. Cade's got 12 points and 2 assists so far in the first half here. Powell with the basketball, guarded by Cade. Switches off for Javonte Green, back to Jalen Duren. Cross corner pass for the Nets for 3. He's going to get fouled. And they're going to shoot 3 free throws here. So Duncan Robinson caught on a shooting foul for the Brooklyn Nets here. And they're going to shoot 3 free throws back the other way. Yeah, Duncan Robinson did get contact in the air. So, that's going to be 3 free throws for the Brooklyn Nets. But nice play from Cade. That 2-man game between Duren and Cade's been lethal so far this year. It's so beautiful because Cade is so smart with the basketball where he can see the floor so well. So when Duren sets the screen for Cade, Cade can just roll off the screen. He can shoot the 3. He can drive to the rim. Or if he gets double teamed coming off the screen, Duren's wide open for a slam. That's happened so many times this year for the Pistons. It's been working phenomenal. And Jalen Duren and his agent right now are laughing all the way to the bank because they know that this is a contract-proof year for Jalen Duren, and Trajan Langdon's probably going to pay him after this year. So, yeah, not too shabby, man. Third time he's done it so far this year. Yeah, so that's going to be called on Duncan Robinson here. They're going to shoot 3 free throws. So, Williams is going to be shooting these free throws for the Nets. Yeah, no technical foul. They were wondering if Duncan Robinson prevented him from landing when he released it, but it's just a common foul on Duncan. So Zaire Williams is going to go to the free throw line. He's going to shoot 3 free throws for the Brooklyn Nets here. 8:04 left to play here in the first half. Yeah, the Pistons at one point in time, they thought that their core was going to be consisted of Andre Drummond and a 35-year-old Blake Griffin. That was the good old days. I would rather have Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, who are 10 years younger. Zaire Williams' first free throw on the way is up and in. 38-34. 8 minutes left to play here in regulation. Zaire Williams going for his second free throw attempt here. Second free throw's on the way here for Zaire Williams. Up and good. Third free throw on the way for Zaire. 8 minutes left to play here in the first half. Zaire up and in. 38-36. So the Nets cut it back down to 2 here. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Pistons got Ron Holland, Javonte Green, Duren, Duncan Robinson, and Cade Cunningham on the floor. Holland works inside to Jalen Duren. Duren guarded by Claxton. Duncan thought about a three. Back outside to Cade. Cade looking for the open man. Lob pass inside of Jalen Duren. Beautifully executed. What a pass from Cade to Duren for the slam. 40-36 basketball game. 7:40 to play here in the first half. Duren's got 10 points tonight. Cade working on Zaire Williams. Excuse me, Terrence Mann. Back inside to Clowney. Clowney is going to get fouled by Duncan Robinson. Duncan doesn't like the call. It looked like that was more of a turnover, essentially, but Clowney is going to be going to the free throw line here for the Nets. What a pass from Cade. You guys don't realize, like, to make those passes on the lob, they got to be timed perfectly. That was a no-look pass that Cade made to Duren on that alley-oop. That was a crazy pass from Cade. So Clowney at the free throw line. First free throw on the way. Cade moves so effortlessly. It looks like he's playing in slow motion, and he just reads defenses so well when he's on the floor, and he knows when to take his own shot, when to give it up, when he's being double teamed, to cross it for a corner three, kick out. He just needs like another guy, like besides Duncan Robinson, that can shoot threes. Which is why, again, Malik Beasley would have been so nice for this team right now. But, you know, I'm going to stop talking about Malik Beasley. Cade working inside, gets it back to Duren. Duren tries to go for the alley-oop. No good, off the mark. And Claxton with the basketball gives it up to Clowney. Clowney guarded by Cade, works outside to Powell. Powell back to Clowney for three. Clowney's got the hot hand. It's off the mark. Boarded by Javonte Green. Here come the Pistons back the other way. 7 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. Cade with the basketball, drives to the rim, kicks it outside to Duncan. Duncan back outside to Javonte Green, and Javonte Green gets fouled, and Javonte Green's going to be going to the free throw line to shoot a couple free throws here. Javonte Green's been around the league, been a bunch of different teams. Ended up on the Pistons. Trajan Langdon made the move for him as a free agent, so we're going to see if Javonte Green can give us a nice spark off the bench this year. He's averaging about 5 points, 2.5 rebounds a game, 30% from three. So it's a guy that if you need a three in a late situation, he can give it to you at some points. He's had some couple nice possessions for the Pistons so far this year. We need another shooter. And again, we're hoping it's Ivy when he comes back. Javonte Green off the mark. Yeah, Tim Hardaway was another guy I would have liked to keep. Jimmy, he was a nice guy off the bench that could give us the nice spark plug for the second unit. Marcus Sasser, I like as well. You know, Marcus Sasser's out with an injury. We're hoping he's the backup to Cade. Dennis Schroeder was a guy I wish the Pistons re-signed. Schroeder was so clutch for us in the playoffs last year, made some big-time shots. Just a true vet that just knows it all. Javonte Green gets the second free throw here. 40-39 basketball game. So, Nets have their starters out on the floor here. Clowney with the basketball, guarded by Cade. Clowney with the basketball, guarded by Cade. Clowney working inside, gets it to go. Missing with the scoreboard here. I'm looking up and I'm wondering where I made a mistake. It looks like it's 41-40 basketball game right now. 6:12 left to play here in the first half. Terrence Mann tried to swipe it. It's going to be called for a reach and foul, though, on Terrence Mann. So Terrence Mann gets called for the reach and foul on Cade. It's going to stay here with the Pistons. 6 minutes left to play here in the game. 41-40 basketball game. Cade checks out of the game here for a breather. 6 minutes left to play here in the game. Karis LeVert checks inside to Asar. Karis LeVert back to Duncan Robinson. Duncan moves inside with the basketball. Gets it to go. Nice little floater from Duncan Robinson. 43-40 basketball game. Here come the Nets. Yeoman gets it back outside to Porter. Porter working inside against Duren. Porter back outside to Clowney. Thought about a three. Porter three on the way. Off the mark. Claxton with the basketball. Back outside to Yeoman for three. Yeoman hits a huge hoop for the Brooklyn Nets. 43-43 basketball game. 5:30 left to play here in the first half. Asar at the basketball. Asar at the top of the key, working on Yeoman. Asar trying to make a man miss, works inside, off the mark. Here come the Nets back the other way, Claxton with the board. Pistons are 2 for 7 from 3. Nets are 7 for 19. Yeoman with the basketball. Yeoman spot up 3. Off the rim. Back outside to Karis LeVert with the rebound. LeVert coming back the other way for the Pistons. 5 minutes left to play here in the first half. LeVert, guarded by Claxton, works inside of Duren. Duren goes at the rim, and it's going to be a foul called on Claxton. And Duren's going to be shooting some free throws here. So 5 minutes left to play here in the first half. Back and forth battle here with the Brooklyn Nets. Credit to the Nets. They're playing hard right now against the Pistons. They're making some big-time shots from 3. Again, that three-point shooting has been a problem so far for the Pistons this year. I wouldn't say it's much of a problem. I would say there's not as many guys that you can rely on where you're holding your breath instead of like confidently saying he's going to knock down this three-point shot. Duren, first free throw on the way is up and good. 44-43 basketball game. 5 minutes left to play here in this one. Duren with the second free throw on the way. Let's see if he can knock this one down here. So Duren, second free throw on the way. Yeah, I hope Isaiah Stewart's okay too. It looked like he was fine, nothing serious. I don't see him on the bench right now. So hopefully Beef Stew's all right. Duren, second free throw on the way is up and in. 45-43 basketball game. Here come the Brooklyn Nets back the other way. Porter working inside to Claxton. Claxton working on Duren. Post game, hook shot up and in for the Brooklyn Nets. 45-45 basketball game. Yeah, so they're just probably going to check on Isaiah Stewart, make sure nothing's sprained. He did roll his ankle earlier in this one, but hopefully he's all right. 4:45 left to play here in the first half. Asar Thompson with the basketball, guarded by Powell. Gets it inside to Karis LeVert. Back outside to Asar. Asar drives to the rim. Asar gets it to go. 47-45 Pistons. 4:30 back in the first half. Yeoman with the basketball. Gets it back outside to Claxton. Claxton inside to Porter. That's going to be a foul called on Asar Thompson. Asar doesn't agree with the call. 4:20 left to play here in the first half. Pistons are in the bonus as well. So that's going to be a foul on Asar. I don't really agree with that. It looked like there wasn't really a foul called on that. I thought it was originally out of bounds, but they're going to call a foul on Asar. So it's going to stay here with the Nets. Javonte Green checks out of the game here for the Pistons. LeVert, Asar, Duren. Duren working on Claxton. Claxton gets the foul, count the bucket and the foul, and Claxton's going to go back to the free throw line. 47-47 basketball game. In the second quarter. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like and subscribe. It's free. It helps me out a ton. Let me know who's here in the chat. What's up? Claxton, nice, tough finish to the rim. Working on Jalen Duren. Claxton's trying to complete the three-point play here. He's going to the free throw line. 4:15 left to play here in the first half. Nick Claxton, he's got 6 points so far, making to look at 7 with a free throw attempt on the way here. Claxton, free throw on the way, is up and in. 48-47 basketball game. Pistons have Asar, Cade, Duren, Duncan Robinson, and Karis LeVert. Cade Cunningham working on Powell at the top of the key. Cade trying to set up the offense. Duren sets the screen. Here we go. Cade gets it back outside to Duncan. Duncan works around to Asar. Asar dishes it outside to LeVert. LeVert inside back to Asar. Asar misses it. Duren's there to clean it up for the slam. 49-48 basketball game. 3:48 left to play here in the first half. Yeoman with the basketball for the Brooklyn Nets. Gets it inside to Claxton, working on Duren. Claxton trying to make Duren miss. Claxton goes at Duren, back outside to Clowney. Clowney thought about a three, inside, back outside to Porter for 3. Porter hits it to go. Huge hoop for the Nets. 51-49 Nets. 3:20 left to play here in the game. Here come the Pistons back the other way, trying to cut the deficit down here. Asar Thompson with the basketball, going back the other way. Asar working on Yeoman. Asar loses it, turns it over. Here come the Nets back the other way. Nets, Yeoman with the basketball, back to Porter. Porter working on Cade. Porter going at Duren to the rim. Porter misses the layup, but Porter's fouled. He's going to be going to the free throw line here. 49-51 is going to be called on Jalen Duren, his second foul called of the game. And Porter's going to be going to the free throw line to shoot a couple free throws here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. Going to give you guys as many Pistons games as I can here. Porter, first free throw on the way, is up and in, 52-49. 3:07 left to play here in the first half. Nuggets gave up Michael Porter, a 2032 first-round draft pick, and the Nuggets got Cam Johnson in return. See how that trade works out here. Cade with the basketball gets it inside to Asar. Asar back outside to LeVert. LeVert driving. Pull-up jump shot is good. 52-51. 2:48 left to play here in the first half. Here come the Brooklyn Nets back the other way. Clowney with the basketball guarded by LeVert. Top of the key. LeVert giving him some problems. LeVert loses his handle. Back outside. Stolen away by Jalen Duren. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Cade. Duncan Robinson for three. Off the mark. Duren tried to get the rebound. Here come the Nets. Yeoman with the basketball. Yeoman to Powell for three. Powell off the rim. Asar Thompson with the rebound. Asar full speed the other way. Asar all the way to the rim. Can't get it to fall. Here come the Nets back the other way for Powell. Powell back outside to Yeoman. Yeoman inside to Claxton for the bucket. 54-51 basketball game. 55-51, excuse me. 2 minutes left to play in the half. Here comes Cade to full court. Cade guarded by Powell. Top of the key here. Duren sets the screen for Cade. Duren rolls off. Duren working on Porter now inside. Got the mismatch. Duren hook shot and falls in. Nice little jump hook shot, Jay, for Jalen Duren. 55-53 basketball game. Yeoman with the basketball for the Brooklyn Nets. Back outside to Clowney. Clowney thought about a three. LeVert trying to guard Clowney. And it looks like Clowney's shaking up on the play here. He just loses control. Play's still going. Duncan Robinson gets it back outside to LeVert for three. Wide open three. Gets it to go. And the Pistons regain the lead. 56-55. And the Nets take a full time out. Hopefully Clowney's all right. It looked like when he was trying to give it up, he kind of tweaked his ankle a little bit. So hopefully he's all right. We got a commercial break coming up here. Pistons take a 56-55 lead. Approaching the end of the first half here. 1:23 left to play here. Garris LeVert better have made that shot. There was literally nobody near him. Wide open three. And the Pistons take a 1-point lead going into a commercial break. So Pistons up 56-55. They were a 10.5-point favorite going into this game. Give you guys some stats here. Jalen Duren. Duren has been a beast so far this year for the Pistons. He's got 16 points already in the first half. 3 rebounds. Cade's got 12 points, 4 assists. He does have a couple of turnovers. Duncan Robinson's got 4 points, 3 assists. Asar's got 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. The leading scorer so far has been Clowney for the Brooklyn Nets. Porter's got 9 and 3. So Pistons up 1, coming back from a commercial break here. 1:23 left to play here in the first half. I want an update, though, on Isaiah Stewart. Hopefully he's all right. He kind of tweaked his ankle, falling to the ground. Hopefully he's okay, though. So, again, we might have to rely on Paul Reed for minutes here. Like the live stream, guys. If you guys are new, subscribe. It's free. It helps out the stream. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? What's up? What's up? Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Both teams are in the bonus, by the way. 1:23 left to play here in the first half. Waiting to get the inbound call here from the Nets. So Nets, they got their starting unit out there. Yeoman, Powell, Claxton, Porter out on the floor here for the Nets. Terrence Mann checks into the basketball game here. Powell working on Duren. Powell can't get it to go here. Fighting for the loose ball. Back comes the other way for the Pistons and Jalen Duren. Cade with the basketball. Lobs it and gets it to go. That alley-oop duo has been lethal again. And Duren slams it home. 58-55 Pistons. That is Jalen Duren's 18th point of the first half. 5 assists from Cade here. We got a minute left to play here. Duren is running the floor. He gives it back to Cade. Cade immediately finds him back for the slam. Duren is 21 years old, ladies and gentlemen. This guy has been a monster all season long with Cade. And he's going to be laughing all the way to his bank account when we pay him a pretty nice extension in this offseason. 7-0 run the last 45 seconds of the game here for the Pistons. Nets coming back the other way. Yeoman with the basketball, guarded by Ron Holland. Claxton top of the key, guarded by Duren. Porter trying to get open here. Ron Holland giving him some problems. Yeoman thought about a three. Back outside, guarded by Ron Holland. Yeoman with the basketball. Yeoman takes a deep three off the mark. Duren with the rebound here. Here come the Pistons back the other way with Cade Cunningham running the fast break. Cade, guarded by Terrence Mann. Cade with the basketball. Step back. Mid-range jump shot. Pure. 60-55 basketball game. Cade Cunningham lethal with the basketball in his hands. Terrence Mann with the basketball gives it up to Yeoman. They're going to wait for the final shot here. 15 seconds left to play here for the Brooklyn Nets. 60-55 basketball game. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Yeoman's got to go quickly for the Nets. Yeoman, 2 seconds, 1 second. Got to chuck up a prayer. Off the mark here, boarded by the Pistons. 1 second left to play here. Asar from half court. Oh, man, off the rim, in and out. 60-55 lead for the halftime break here. And Cade Cunningham leading the show here. 14 points, 5 assists. Jalen Duren, 18 points, 5 boards, 2 steals, and 0 turnovers. Jalen Duren has been outstanding for the Pistons so far to start the season. You love to see it, man. So, we got a commercial break, halftime break coming up for you guys, man. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the chat. Usually I just kind of blabble on about NBA nonsense until the second half begins here. But, yeah, it's so weird. Like, every game that the Pistons have had to start the season, we start off slow, the other team gets on a run, and then J.B. Bickerstaff makes some adjustments. He's been kind of creative with his lineups tonight so far, using guys like Paul Reed, Bobby Klintman, Javonte Green's getting some minutes. But, again, the three-point shooting is going to be a huge part of this team so far this year. And we're going to hope that guys like Duncan Robinson, Karis LeVert, you know, those are really our only 2 shooters. Tobias, Cade can obviously shoot it whenever he wants to. It's not usually his first look. That's why I love Cade as a player, because his first look is always to make sure he gets his teammates involved. And when it's absolutely necessary, he does create his own shot. But his IQ has just been so solid for the Pistons so far, ever since he was drafted. So Pistons' future's bright, man. We need Jaden Ivey to come back healthy, hopefully in a couple weeks. Ivey with his athleticism. You never know what's going to happen off an injury, but hopefully Ivey's all right. Hopefully Beef Stew is okay. No word on Isaiah Stewart yet. It looked like he was fine. He just kind of tripped on himself, essentially, and slipped on the floor. He kind of rolled his own ankle, and he had to leave the game, but I don't think it's anything serious, because he was kind of playing through it, and then they finally checked him out after a timeout break. So, yeah, not bad. But Isaiah Stewart's defensive presence, man. I tell you what, if he was healthy against the Knicks last year in the playoffs, Isaiah Stewart would have made a big difference maker, and I think that goes Game 7 last year, and who knows what happens out of that series. But, yeah, you know, I like what Trajan's doing. He's keeping his draft picks. He's not trading any picks for any crazy player. He's building through the draft. He's using free agency to his advantage. But again, if we had Malik Beasley, this team, the sky's the limit. So, but again, you know what? Jaden Ivey, we're banking on him and his health to return back strong for the Pistons this year. But it's crazy how literally the Pistons got screwed multiple years in a row in the draft lottery. And it kind of worked out. To be fair, like, obviously, if we had Victor on this team, like, forget it. But you know what? The Spurs got Victor. We got screwed in the lottery. We got pick 5. 3 years in a row, mind you. And it ended up being Ron Holland, Asar Thompson, and Jaden Ivey. So I think that's a pretty solid trio to go with this Pistons team. You know, obviously, Cade's the real deal. And people are starting to fully realize it. And especially last year, oh my gosh, Cade's a bust. You know, 26-game losing streak. He can't play. Well, his best player at the time was a 40-year-old man by the name of Bojan Bogdanovic. He had zero help whatsoever. We get rid of Troy Weaver. Trajan Langdon, his second year for the Pistons. He's been doing great so far. But it's kind of ironic, though, that everybody was just calling for Troy Weaver's head. But if you take a look at this team, this is a Troy Weaver-built team. Cade, Jaden Ivey, Beef Stew, Jalen Duren, Asar Thompson. You know, I think that was a Weaver pick as well. So this is kind of ironic. And then, you know, Trajan takes over and, you know, we get rid of Monty Williams. That was a disaster. Props to Tom Gores, though, for eating that contract. I mean, we paid Monty Williams an absurd amount of money, and Tom Gores just ate that out of pocket. So this team has a lot of bright spots for the future here, though. Yeah, it's crazy, BD. Like, I don't understand how the Mavericks got Cooper Flagg that year. It's just, like, something's fishy with that whole Luka Doncic dramatic fiesta feast going on. It's just something was just up with that. So, Pistons are 3 for 9 from the three-point line, 9 for 10 from free throws. They're outboarding the Nets, and they're outboarding the paint points by almost double against the Nets here. And part of that is because of Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham's two-man game. So, still in a commercial break here for the halftime. Hopefully, halftime hurries it up here. 5 minutes left here, and then we should be back in business. But if you guys are new, like I said, like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys all being here. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Make sure you guys are staying hydrated throughout the game tonight. But yeah, a lot of group play games tonight everywhere in the NBA. Some other scores: Celtics are down 4 against the Magic end of the third quarter. Cavaliers are demolishing the Wizards. Hawks up 9 against the Raptors at halftime. Spurs and Rockets, 1-point game at halftime there. Heat are up by 20 against the Hornets. Bucks up by 3 against the Bulls. The Bulls, man, surprising start to the season. They're 6-1. They got the 1 seed in the East right now. I know it's super early, but it's weird seeing the Bulls at the top right now. But you got the Bulls at 1, Pistons at 2, and the Knicks, the Cavs, Milwaukee, Sixers, and then playing teams right now are Boston, Miami, Toronto, and Atlanta. But I think it's going to change. But you see what happens when your number one guy goes down. You know, Pacers, Halliburton goes down, they're 1-7. Boston, Tatum goes down, they're 4-5, and then the 10 seed. Yeah, it sucks because we've gotten robbed of a full season of Ivy and Cade working together, and they still need to kind of figure out each other's games because Ivy played point in college, and he's trying to adjust and learn to play shooting guard. And I've said this before, it's trying to complement each other when they're both on the floor. It's Cade's team. He can run the show. Sometimes, though, you got 2 point guards on the floor with Ivy and Cade, and sometimes it can kind of confuse some things. But Ivy's nice, though, because you get that athleticism. He's been working on his three-point shot. This is a contract year for Jaden Ivey. And you got to pay. You paid Batman and Cade. Are you going to pay Robin? Hopefully an Ivy. But Ivy needs to be an all-star caliber type player if the Pistons are going to make a big offer at him. I think you definitely have to pay Duren for 1,000%. You still got Beef Stew, I think, for another year or two. So Jaden Ivey. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, his contract expires at the end of the season. So definitely interested to see what Trajan Langdon does with that. But it's going to be in, the $120 million contract range. And are the Pistons willing to do that? We don't know yet. So, because again, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. He's had his health concerns. So I love Ivy. I'm an Ivy believer. We just haven't really seen a full system year play out yet with Cade and Ivy both sharing the floor together for a full season. Yeah, Duren and Ivy. Yeah, it comes down to chemistry. I think that's what makes Duren and Cade so great. The two-man game in the NBA right now for the Pistons. I think Ivy can definitely get there. Considering in that position in the lottery where Paolo went 1 to the Magic and then we got Ivy at 5. I think it's still a nice piece. It's so tough for the classes because you really don't know who's going to pan out. But Asar's nice. He's only going to get better. He's by far our best defender on the team. One of the most athletic guys we have. Right up there with Ivy when he's fully healthy. So we'll see. I love Jalen Duren, though. And last year, it was such a liability when he was on the floor because he had 0 defensive game. He's getting better on defense. But especially that two-man game that Cade and Duren has, they've just been dominating opposing teams. And that's why Cade is so elite, because defenses don't know. When Duren sets the screen for Cade, is Cade going to lob it to Duren? And if they cover Duren, Cade just takes the mid-range jump shot. It's working out very well for them. That Cade just knows exactly what to do in these given situations. But yeah, we're probably going to pay both Ivy and Duren. I would be shocked if we didn't, but it's a gamble because, there's a salary cap and you got to negotiate all these different deals. But the Pistons do have, a pretty good chunk of their change left for the salary cap. So I think we'll pay Ivy. I don't see any issues with that. It's you're paying an injured guy, so there's a risk with that. But I mean, the Lions did that with Aiden Hutchinson just now, and Hutch is still fine. So I'm not concerned about Ivy, but we need him. It's because we don't have Malik Beasley. We need another 3-point shooter, and Ivy can fill that role. And I think Trajan going into the season realized that, okay, we don't really need Malik Beasley because we're expecting Ivy to take this big step for us. So I think we'll be fine, though. But, yeah, sky's the limit for this team. Just pray to God everybody stays healthy, no health concerns. I mean, you're going to have injuries come up here and there, like, Tobias and Marcus Sasser and Ivy right now, and every team deals with injuries, but, your big core guys you can't afford to lose. So I think the second half's about to start here. Thanks for keeping up with me, guys, and blabbling on about my nonsense. I try to give you guys somewhat of an in-depth analysis on the first half here. So 20 minutes off of the 7-hour drive. Nice. Jimmy Roberts is pretty. Yeah, I have been amazed with how well Jalen Duren's been playing this year. And credit to Cade's success. Cade is making Jalen Duren take a huge step forward. He and Duren work so well together when they're on the floor this year. I mean, you take a look at Mexico, and the other day, Jalen had like a 22-22 game. I'm not worried an ounce about Cade's greatness. I think in a couple years from now, you're going to be talking about Cade Cunningham in the MVP race. I believe he's that good. It's just we got to get him consistent, reliable shooters. And the only question mark I have is when Tobias leaves or retires, or are we going to just pay him until he retires? He's getting up there in age. The problem is who's going to be the stretch for this Pistons core moving forward. We don't really know who that is yet. We're counting on it to be Tobias, but Tobias is getting old and he's getting up there in age, and I don't think he's going to be as consistent as the years go on. But when Cade's in his 5th season right now, when Cade gets into like his 8th, 9th year in the NBA, who's going to be Cade stretch 4 on this team? Is it going to be a guy we're going to draft? Or are we going to trade a couple picks to get somebody? That's still a question mark that I don't know what the Pistons are going to do yet. So, interesting. Do you think Ivy's going to mess up Asar's development? Because I feel like Asar got good when Ivy went down because he put the ball in Asar's hands more. Yeah, and I think, so last year, Asar missed like the first month and a half to start the season because he had that whole blood clot injury. But then when he came back, Asar and Ivy, they were kind of wishy-washy when they were both on the floor. But, you know, Asar we're relying on more as our defender, athletic wing, quote-unquote. The problem is he's not really a wing yet because he can't shoot to save his life. I'm hoping he can, because if Asar can develop a jump shot, then Asar can hopefully kind of slide into that stretch 3, stretch 4 role. But, yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think JB is a great coach, and he'll understand how to get those guys acclimated on the ball, working off the ball, on the ball, with Asar and Ivy. Because Asar can dribble the basketball when needed. Obviously, Ivy's a better ball handler than Asar is. But the question still is, can Cade and Ivy coexist together on the same team? I think they can, but we'll see. Start of the third quarter coming up here, guys. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? So we got Brooklyn Nets, Detroit Pistons tonight. Start of the third quarter underway. And we got the 76ers Sunday night basketball. That's going to be a busy Sunday. I got Lions and Commanders at 4:30. And then Pistons and Sixers play immediately after the Lions. And that's just it, BD. Like, and I don't even think that's an exaggeration. Jimmy and I were talking about this. Like, you saw how great Asar was in the playoffs last year. I mean, he was locking up Brunson at big moments in the game. Brunson made a super tough, crazy step back 3 in one of the playoff games, and Asar played perfect defense on him. But like you said, if Asar can develop a jump shot, he's going to be one of the best two-way players in the NBA. Asar, I think, is the real deal. So we got to keep Asar at all costs. Yeah, I don't even know what the Nets are doing with their roster construction. We were just talking about, like, they had, like, KD, Kyrie, Harden, and they couldn't freaking win. So, I don't know. They gave up, like, Cam Johnson and a first-rounder for Michael Porter. So, I don't know what the Nets are doing, to be honest with you. Start of the third quarter here. Here we go, guys. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. 11:40 left to play here in the third quarter. Duren with the basketball. Nets turned it over to start the half. K with the basketball working inside of Duren. Duren looks like he got fouled. I don't know if it's going to be a shot attempt or if it's going to be called on the foul. I think it was on Porter here. It looks like it's going to be called on the foul. So 11:30 left to play here in the third quarter. Isaiah Stewart is not returning in the game. So Isaiah Stewart, he had an injury early in the second quarter. He kind of slipped on his own footing, twisted his ankle. He is done for the night. That's a big loss for the Pistons. Asar back outside of Ron Holland. Ron Holland turns it over. Looks like he stepped out of bounds here. That's a big loss for the Pistons. So we're going to try and see if we can get Beef Stew back in the game here at some point. On Sunday. Hopefully he can return for Sunday. I don't think it's a huge concern, but that is a problem, though, when you got one of your best defenders out for the game. So the Nets turn it over here on a backcourt violation. Pistons regain possession here. 60-55 lead here. Third quarter, 11 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. K with the basketball, guarded by Terrence Mann. K gives it up to Duncan Robinson. Robinson back outside of Duren. Duren going to the rim. Gets it to go. Jalen Duren. He is becoming my favorite player on this Pistons team. We drafted him when he was 18. He's 21 now. He's going to turn 22 in about a week or so. And he has been phenomenal for the Pistons to start the season. Porter off the miss. No good for the three-point attempt. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Ron Holland with the basketball. Ron Holland gives it back outside to Cade. Cade thought about a three. Inside to Duren. Trying to get a lob. He's going to get fouled, though. He almost posterized Clowney, and Duren's going to go back to the free throw line. Duren, at this point, off the pick and roll, is becoming unguardable because the problem is if they're in man defense, when the pick and roll happens, Duren almost always gets a mismatch off the screen and roll. And you just can't defend Duren. You're either going to have to foul him or just let him dunk on you. So Duren's at the stripe here. First free throw attempt on the way. Duren gets it to go. 63-55 Pistons. If you guys are new to the stream, hit the like button. Subscribe. It's free. It helps out the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Duren hits the first free throw. 63-55 basketball game. Duren, second free throw on the way, is up and in. Duren, he's got 22 points tonight, and we just started the third quarter. Absolute monster. Terrence Mann with the basketball. Almost swiped away by Ron Holland. Inside to Porter. Porter working on Cade. Cade's going to get called for the foul here. Appreciate you tuning in, BD. Thanks for being here, dude. 64-55 basketball game. Porter's going to go to the free throw line for the Nets. That's the first foul on Cade in this game, which is good. You know, third quarter, your best player, you only have one foul. That's good. Porter, first free throw on the way, is up and in. 64-56 game. 10:24 left to play here in the third quarter. Porter's got 10 points, 3 boards, 1 for 5 from 3. Porter, when he was on that championship team with the Denver Nuggets, he was relying on his three-point shooting. Porter gets the second free throw to go. 64-57 basketball game. Here come the Pistons. Cade Cunningham back the other way. Cade back outside of Duncan Robinson. Thought about a three. Checks it outside to Ron Holland. Ron Holland back outside to Duncan. And Duncan just kind of lost control and a turnover on Duncan Robinson. He was pleading for a foul. Not going to get it. And the Brooklyn Nets are coming back the other way. He has to change his shoes. Yeah, he kind of slipped on his own footing there. Porter back outside working on Cade. Porter, circus shot, no good. Duren with the rebound. Duren back outside to Asar. Asar running the fast break. Cade gets it back outside to Ron Holland for 3. Holland hits it to go. Ron Holland joins the three-point party. 67-57 basketball game. How about Ron Holland with a little jump shot? Yeoman the other way with the basketball for the Nets. Yeoman outside to Clowney. Clowney for 3. Clowney off the mark. It's going to be retained by Duncan Robinson. Duncan back to Cade. Cade working the fast break. Cade all the way to the hole. Count the bucket and the foul. Stop messing with Cade Cunningham. That's a bad man. 69-57. Get off me, says Cade, and he's going to the free throw line to make it a 3-point play. You can't guard me, rookie. Get off me. Yeoman had no answer for him. 69-57 basketball game. Cade with 16 points, making a look at 17. 9:25 left to play here in the third quarter. Cade, free throw up and in. 70-57. Cade is elite, and more people are starting to notice it every single day. Claxton with the basketball gets it back to Porter. Porter for 3. Porter off the mark. Cade with the basketball, with the board. Cade on the fast break. Cade all the way, slams it home. Cade Cunningham with the board, fast break. And the Pistons have got a groove going here. 9 minutes left to play. And the Brooklyn Nets have to take a timeout. Cade Cunningham back the other way. Pistons are rolling, up 15 in the third quarter. You can't stop number 2. You can only hope to contain him. And we got yet another commercial break coming on the way. Cade Cunningham, second man, second half machine. He's been dominant in the fourth quarter for the Pistons this year. Duren's got 22 points, 6 boards. Cade's got 19 points, a board, 6 assists. Clowney still leading scorer for the Brooklyn Nets here. 72-57 basketball game. Excuse me, Nets have 4 timeouts. Pistons, they still have 5. There we go. The thing I gotta get used to is the timeouts. Yeah, those threes, we were kind of shooting off the mark in the first half here. It's weird, like, if Cade's on the floor, he can just find the open guy. And, like, you saw it with, like, Ron Holland a couple minutes ago. Like, Cade was on the fast break. Ron Holland was camping on the corner 3. Pull up, good to go. The 3-point, it's still a super young team. We're still learning as we go. But we'll see, man, moving forward. I think when this team gets Jaden Ivey back, hopefully in a couple weeks, the sky is the limit for this team in the East. There's only a couple teams better than the Pistons in the East, in my opinion. You got the Cavs, the Knicks, the Bucks, maybe the Sixers. You could argue the Bulls right now because we did lose to the Bulls the other day. So, not too shabby. Yeah, they were hitting a lot of threes in the first half, especially Clowney in the first half. He was on fire. He had like four of his first 5 shots came from 3 to start the game here. But yeah, 3-point shooting can't always save you. It's important in the NBA. You need to shoot threes, but if that's all you do, you're going to lose momentum at some point during the game. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you guys are new, hit the like button, subscribe. What's going on, everybody? You're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I was trying to figure out TikTok earlier. TikTok I can't really figure out. It's asking me to like put in my phone number and it doesn't work, so I don't know what's going on with that. I thought about streaming to Twitter. I might set up a Twitter page soon. So, had fun. 72-57 basketball game. Juwan Howard on the Nets coaching staff. That's interesting to see. He had quite of a career at the University of Michigan. I'll say that. He punched a coach at the end of the game once. That was interesting. Michigan faithful. Nets coming back the other way here. 72-57 basketball game. Yeoman with the basketball, gives it back outside to Claxton. Claxton working inside. Clowney thought about a 3, gives it back outside to Man. Man to Yeoman. Yeoman back outside to Porter. Porter for 3. Shot clock falling down. He gets it to go. 72-60 basketball game. Cade with the basketball, down 12. 8:30 left to play here in the third quarter. Cade guarded by Terrence Mann. Cade trying to make Terrence Mann miss. Terrence Mann swarming Cade. I can't believe hasn't been a foul called yet. Cade working inside to Asar for the slam. 74-60 basketball game for the Pistons. 8 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Here come the Brooklyn Nets back the other way. Yeoman trying to use a screen from Claxton. Back outside to Porter for 3. Porter is going to get fouled by Asar on the 3-point attempt, and Porter's going to be shooting 3 free throws here. Tobias is in shock and disbelief on the bench. Right in front of the Pistons bench there. So 8:08 left to play here in the third quarter. Asar is pleading for them to challenge this. I don't know if JB's going to look at this or not. I don't know if Asar got him or not. Yeah, Pistons are going to take a timeout here. They are going to challenge this foul. All right, so we'll see if Asar actually got him. It was very questionable. Porter went up. Asar didn't really touch him. He was kind of next to him, but I don't know if he got him like on his left hip or something. But Pistons take a timeout here. Still up 74-60. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. You guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the chat. What's up, everybody? $74-60 basketball game. Game leaders in this one. Noah Clowney still leading the way for the Brooklyn Nets. 17 points. Jalen Duren's got 22. K with 19 points, 7 assists. Asar's got 10. 10 points, 3 assists. A couple personal fouls on Asar. Yeah, hopefully Isaiah Stewart's all right. He's going to be out of the game for tonight. When I saw it, it just looked like he kind of rolled his ankle. He was playing through it. And then when they called a timeout, they actually pulled him. But I don't think it's anything serious. But yeah, I hope he's all right, though. Let's see if there's anything on Twitter about any report for him. Yeah, just his ankle, it says. So, now, it is the Brooklyn Nets. So, he did get a flagrant 1 foul called early in the first quarter. But I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. Unfortunately, he is, he's going to be out for the game here, but I think he should be back for Sunday against the Sixers. But yeah, hopefully you guys are all doing well. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Yeah, I'm really anxious to see what happens for Malik Beasley. Coach's challenge going on here, making sure Asar didn't foul Michael Porter on that three-point attempt. They're going to see what the call is here. Unsuccessful challenge from the Pistons, so Porter's going to be shooting 3 free throws here. So that's the last challenge the Pistons gave up, so they don't have any more challenges. That's a good question. Yeah, I thought Tobias was going to be healthy enough to return here in the game tonight. I'm hoping Sunday against the Sixers. He is still day-to-day, so it's kind of a day-to-day basis to kind of how he feels. The good news is, though, is he is traveling with the team. So if it was more serious, I don't think he'd be traveling with the team. But hopefully Sunday. Porter gets the first free throw to fall. Second free throw on the way is up and in. 74-62. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, man. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. What's going on, everybody? Pistons, Nets, Friday night. Emirates, NBA Cup. Porter hits all 3 free throws. 74-63 basketball game. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Asar Thompson to full court. Trying to set up the offense here. Gives it inside to Duren. Duren back outside to Duncan Robinson. Gives it back to Cade. Cade working on Yeoman. Cade trying to make Yeoman miss. Cade working on Yeoman. Spin move. Back outside to Ron Holland for 3. But unfortunately, it's going to be a loose ball foul called against the Pistons. Ron Holland actually did make the 3, but it didn't matter. A loose ball foul is called on the Pistons. So it's going to be Nets basketball here. Come back the other way. 74-63. Nets back with the basketball. Claxton working on Jalen Duren. Claxton back to Yeoman for 3. Yeoman off the mark. Asar with the rebound. Asar back to Cade. Cade with the basketball. Trying to set up the offense inside to Duren. Duren in the paint. Backdoor pass to Ron Holland. Can't handle it. It's going to be off of Michael Porter's. So it's going to be Pistons basketball still. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? 74-63 basketball game. 7:28 left to play here in the game. Third quarter, excuse me. Duren, top of the key. Back outside to Cade. Cade, thinking about a 3. Working on Claxton. Spot up. Jump shot. Off the mark. No good for Cade. Pistons, though, regain possession. They get the rebound back. Thanks to Ron Holland. Cade with the basketball. Working on Terrence Mann. Cade, jump shot. Hook. Floater is up and in. 76-63 Pistons. Yeoman with the basketball. Pistons have 50 points in the paint tonight. Yeoman working on Duren. Back outside of Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann off the rim. Michael Porter Jr. with the basketball. Porter back outside to Mann, who's guarded by Asar. Clowney with the basketball working on Duncan Robinson. Clowney just bullies Duncan Robinson. It's going to be a jump ball, though, called on the floor right here. 76-63 basketball game. They'll jump this one up. 6:40 left to play here in the third quarter. So Clowney couldn't convert. It looked like the ball got wedgied between the rim and the backboard. So they're going to jump this one up here. Asar comes out of the basketball game. He checks out. 76-63. So Duren and Clowney are going to jump this up. And the Nets are going to retain possession here. Yeoman back outside to Porter. Porter working inside to Duren, who loses it. Still a loose ball foul. Claxton regains possession. And it's going to be a foul called on the Pistons. And it's going to be called on Cade. That's going to be his second call of the game. Yeah, bunch of fouls called in this game so far. So Claxton at the free throw line. First free throw up and in. 76-64 game here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? Let me know who's here in the chat. What's up, what's up, what's up? 6:30 to play here in the third quarter. Claxton gets it to go. 76-65 basketball game. Cade to full court, working on Terrence Mann. Cade with the basketball. Working on Terrence Mann. Top of the key. Cade with the basketball. Back outside to Caris LeVert. LeVert trying to set up the offense here. LeVert back outside to Ron Holland, trying to make Clowney miss. Holland, no good, off the rim. Claxton with the basketball to full court here. Here come the Nets. Yeoman with the basketball. Yeoman trying to work on Duncan Robinson. Off the rim, no good. Here come the Pistons back the other way. Cade, fast break. Cade all the way to the rim. Gets it up and in. Count the bucket and the foul. He flexes underneath the basket, and you can't guard number 2. He's too tough for you, kid. Cade, right play, right time. Beautiful spot. Cade's going to try and complete the three-point play. Cade's got over 20 points in this game. He can do it all, man. Cade, 23 points, 7 assists. Bobby Clintman checks back into the game here for the Pistons, takes out Ron Holland. 5:55 left to play here in the third quarter. Cade trying to complete the three-point play here. What's up, Frank? How you doing, dude? Cade gets it to go. Three-point play is up and in. 79-65. Here come the Nets back the other way. Powell with the basketball. Guarded by Duncan Robinson. Outside to Claxton. Michael Porter guarded by Caris LeVert. Porter all the way to the rim. Can't get it to go. Back outside of the Nets. Clowney thought about a three. Wide open Powell. Powell can't get it to go. Duren with another rebound. Jalen Duren to full court. Cade right beside him. Duncan Robinson spot up three at the top of the key. Off the mark. Bobby Clintman with the rebound. Back to Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert drives inside. Cade for a three. Cade off the mark. He can't get it to go. And the Nets regain possession back the other way. Claxton with the basketball. Gives it up to Powell. Powell guarded by Caris LeVert. LeVert one-on-one against Powell. Powell trying to make LeVert miss. LeVert, nice defense from Caris LeVert. And that's going to be a foul called on the Nets. Nice defense from Caris LeVert. Count that, baby, and a foul. Shout out George Blaha. Isn't that crazy? He's been 50 years with the Pistons. That's all. That's insane, dude. 50 years at any job is crazy. 5:02 left to play here in the third quarter. Pistons are in the bonus, so Caris LeVert's going to shoot a pair of free throws here. Pistons, Nets, looking forward to Sunday night's action. Pistons take on the Sixers Sunday night. Looking forward to that game. Caris LeVert's got 5 points, 4 assists so far. Caris LeVert, the former Brooklyn Net, when he was with the Nets, he was pretty good. LeVert can't get the first free throw to fall, but he's in his mid-30s now. He's getting a little old. Not the player he once was, but can still give you solid minutes off the bench for the Pistons. So, LeVert, first free throw, no good. Looking for the second one here. Caris LeVert, second free throw on the way. Is up and in. 80-65 basketball game. Pistons up 15. Martin with the basketball, pushing the other way for the Nets. Porter inside to Claxton, working on Jalen Duren. Claxton trying to get it to go. Claxton back outside to Porter, who's guarded by Karis LeVert. Porter thought about a three, gives it back outside to Martin. Martin with the basketball. 2 seconds. On the way, Nets in and out. And Cade Cunningham regains possession here. Cade to full court. Back outside to Bobby Klintman. Bobby Klintman with the basketball. Lob to Jalen Duren. How about the lob assist from Bobby Klintman? And Duren slams it home. Me too, dude. I want Beasley back on the Pistons. That'd be awesome. Nets with the basketball coming back the other way. Pistons up 17 in this game. 4 minutes left to play here. It's going to be a foul called on Cade Cunningham away from the basketball. That's Cade's 3rd foul. You don't really know just yet, but it's looking pretty good for the Pistons. 82-65, Pistons up 17. They're in the bonus right now. He's his own color commentator. Yeah, Blaha's awesome. Blaha's seen it all, dude. He's been through all 3 championships, the Bad Boys, the 2004 Pistons. I'm happy that the Pistons allow playoff games to be called by local commentators. That's pretty sweet. Baseball, they don't do that. Same with the NFL. Basketball, they let you, though. Except if it's on the radio. Porter gets it to go. Big 3-point shot for the Brooklyn Nets here. Cut it down to 14. Yeah, the radio broadcasts are still good, but the play-by-play TV broadcasts, I think NBA is the only team that does it. Until the finals happen. Karis LeVert off the mark here. Trying to save it. Pistons regain possession. Back to Paul Reed. Duncan for 3. Duncan off the mark. Duncan has not been good from 3-point tonight. I don't know if he has. He might have 1 3 tonight. That's it. He's got to start knocking those down, man. I know we're up 14, but we need Duncan Robinson to be a consistent 3-point shooter. And he's capable of it, but tonight he's struggling. 82-68 basketball game. 3:33 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Martin, stolen away by Cade. Cade, the full court, slams it home. The windmill dunk. Cade Cunningham slams it home. He's showing off. 84-68 game, and the Brooklyn Nets have to take a timeout. What a swipe, stolen away by Cade. Windmills it on the fast break. Nobody home, and the Pistons have a 16-point lead going to another commercial break coming up here. 84-68. Let's take a full timeout, man. 3:23 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Right, exactly, Frank. Like, no lead is safe in the NBA, especially with the 3-point line. Cade's having himself a night. 26 points, 7 assists, leading scorer for the Stones. Duren's right behind him. 24 points, 9 rebounds. Cade's got 3 turnovers, 3 fouls. Porter's got 20 points, 5 boards, and assists for the Brooklyn Nets. Man, I'm looking at the Nets roster, and I don't know. This might be one of the worst rosters in the NBA, dude. Like, Porter is the only guy I'm seeing that is going to be consistent for them, but I just don't know. Like, that's rough, dude. Good luck to the Nets, man. Good luck to them. They got a lot of picks from that KD, Kyrie, James Harden debacle, but still, it's not looking good. Cade with the windmill slam. He got up to hit that one. Coming back from commercial break here, 84-68 Pistons. If you guys are new to the stream, hit the like button, subscribe. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? So Brooklyn Nets coming back the other way. Pistons up 16. Brooklyn Nets, Powell with the basketball, guarded by Asar. Inside goes for Powell. Powell gets the finish to go. 84-70 basketball game. Paul Reed with the basketball. Paul Reed, pull-up jump shot is good. How about Paul Reed getting it going? 86-70 Pistons, 2:50 left to play here. Cade and Duren to both score 30. Plus 650 with Duren even play in the 4th. Yeah, it's tough to say. If the Nets keep it close, he might check into the 4th. but hopefully it hits for you. Martin off the mark for the three-point attempt. Cade with the basketball coming back the other way. 2:30 left to play here in the third quarter. Cade pushing the basketball. Back outside to Bobby Klintman for three. No good. LeVert, Bobby Klintman again for three. No good. Back-to-back threes, no good for Bobby Klintman. I was hoping he would hit one right there, though. That's all right, though. Bobby Klintman's going to get called for the loose around foul here. Tried to steal it away, though. Both teams are in the bonus here. 2 minutes left to play here. 86-70 basketball game. Cade will be in the All-Star game and MVP candidate. I don't expect him to win it, but he should be in the conversation. I 1,000% agree, especially if he stays healthy. You know, he averages like 25 points, 9, 10 assists a game. Especially if the Pistons get like a top 3 seed in the East this year. Yeah, Cade, he should be in the MVP conversation. I think he's that good. Sharp off the mark here. No good for the first free throw. What's up, Football Nation? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. What's up, dude? Appreciate you stopping in, Football Nation. Hope all is well, dude. Thanks for tuning in. 86-70 basketball game. Nets, Sharp, second free throw attempt on the way. Is up and in. 86-71 basketball game. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on, everybody? Here come the Pistons back the other way. Asar Thompson. It's going to be a loose ball foul called on the Nets here. And Cade Cunningham's going to go to the stripe. Cade is elite. Imagine if Cade got to the line like 5 or 6 more times a game than he already does. Like, he averages to go to the line like 2-3 times a game. Imagine if he got there like 6, 7, 8 times a game. Like, Cade would average 35. Cade knocks down the first one. 87-71 game. But Cade has done a better job of cleaning up his turnovers. That was really his only weakness that he had. He's done a lot better job of making smarter decisions, especially in crunch time situations this year for the Pistons. Hits both free throws, 88-71 basketball game. Nets coming back the other way with the basketball. Martin with the basketball. Cade guarding Powell. Martin thought about a three, gives it back up. Brooklyn Nets. Huge hoop. Zaire Williams knocks it down here for the Brooklyn Nets. 88-74 basketball game. Both teams still in the bonus here. A minute 40 left to play here in the third quarter. Caris LeVert with the basketball. Gets fouled by Martin. And Caris LeVert's going to shoot a pair of free throws here. Hopefully you guys are having a great night. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. What's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Caris LeVert knocks down the first free throw attempt here. 89-74 basketball game. Minute 30 left to play here in the third quarter. Cade chatting up with JB Bickerstaff on the sidelines here. Cade checks out of the game. Caris LeVert knocks down both free throws. 90-74 basketball game. Pistons up 16. Martin to full court, guarded by Caris LeVert. Gives it up to Powell. Powell, guarded by Caris LeVert. Sharp sets the screen for Powell. Powell rolls off of it. Finds Zaire Williams. Powell for three. Powell off the mark. Boarded by Ron Holland. Ron Holland back the other way for the Pistons. Ron Holland going to work. Spin move. Pull up. Jump shot. Off the mark here. Boarded by the Nets. Coming back the other way. Zaire Williams with the basketball. Williams inside to Sharp. Sharp back outside. For the Nets, off the mark here. Can't hit it to go. And the Pistons regain possession here. Asar Thompson with the basketball coming back the other way for the Pistons. Asar back outside to Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert, Euro step, drives to the rim. 92-74 Pistons. 42 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Pistons trying to maintain this lead here. Zaire Williams for three. Way off the mark. Pistons with the basketball. Caris LeVert almost lost it. Back outside of Ron Holland. LeVert with the basketball at full court. 20 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Asar holding it, waiting until the final shot hits for the Pistons. Asar inside. Spin move, jump shot, good. How about Asar Thompson get a nice little spin jump shot going in the paint? Martin to full court. 3 seconds. Martin has to chuck it up. Gets it back outside to Zaire Williams for 3. Off the mark. 94-74 Pistons. And we got a commercial break coming up heading into the fourth quarter. Lions win. My life will be complete for this weekend. Yeah, dude. Lions play the Commanders. Looking for a bounce back win. Rough week for the Lions last week against the Vikings. Lions are going to be shorthanded on the O-line and in the secondary. Kirby Joseph isn't playing again. So, got to get it done. No Jaden Daniels for the Commanders. What's up, Will? How you doing, dude? 94-74 Pistons. Cade Cunningham, 28 points, 7 assists. Duren has 24 and 9. Asar, 12.6 boards, 4 assists. Nice little game for Asar here. Karis LeVert, 10 points off the bench. Only guys that haven't checked into the game here for the Pistons are Chaz Lanier and Dennis Jenkins. We might see them if this becomes like a 30-point blowout in the fourth quarter here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, man. If you guys are new, hit the like button, subscribe. If you guys are new, what's up, everybody? How we doing? What's up, what's up, what's up? Hopefully you guys are all doing fantastic. We're going to be doing some play-by-play Pistons breakdown streams throughout the entire season on this 82-game masterclass led by Cade Cunningham. Waiting to see what happens with Jaden Ivey. Him coming back, hopefully, like I said, before Thanksgiving, ideally, is that situation. But I like what I'm seeing so far from the Pistons this year. I think the Celtics will be good this year, not without Tatum, no. They're the 10 seed in the East right now, aren't they? Jaylen Brown's hairline's falling off, rubbing off on guys. It's like the 5th person he's done that to. Yeah, I don't know what to think about the Celtics. They need Tatum desperately. They don't look good. They lost a couple pieces in the offseason, too. Porzingis, Al Horford. They're having a good time. Yeah, it's a revenge game, Frank, exactly. Yeah, for the NFC wild card, or the first game of the playoffs last year for the Lions. Yeah, definitely divisional round game. Back for the revenge for the on the road for the Commanders. Commanders are a good team, though. Can't take any team lightly in the NFL, so we got to be ready. What's up, Kenny? How you doing, dude? Good to see you. What's up, buddy? 94-74 basketball game. Heading into the fourth quarter, Pistons have a 20-point lead. I don't mind calling the Pistons games. It's more fun, though, when it's a competitive basketball game. We should get a more competitive game on Sunday with the Sixers. Yeah, obviously, way better team than Nets. No offense, Nets, but Ron Holland shoots a 3 off the mark here. Jalen Duren with the basketball. You got Duren, Javonte Green, Asar, LeVert, and Holland in for the Pistons on the floor right now. Back outside, Javonte Green for 3. Green, no good. Claxton with the rebound. Top 4 seed for the Pistons. If they stay healthy, I don't see why we can't, for sure. Nets working inside. Wilson off the mark here. Duren with the basketball. Karis LeVert coming back the other way for the Pistons. LeVert trying to make a man miss. Tries to find the lob on Duren. Duren's going to get fouled, though. Red Wings decided to mail it in. 4-1 now, losing in the third. Ooh, rough. Yeah, I was wondering how the Red Wings were doing. They played like the same time as the Pistons. I got to do both the Pistons and Red Wings reactions back to back. 11-14 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Javonte Green gets it inside to Ron Holland. Back inside to Duren. Duren going to work on Claxton. Duren, too small for Claxton. Jalen Duren, yet another bucket in this game. 96-74 Pistons, 11 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. Duren's got 26 points, 11 boards, 3 steals. Clowney off the mark from 3. Ron Holland with the basketball, coming back the other way for the Pistons. LeVert inside of Duren once again. Duren gets fouled by Clowney. Duren is hard to defend in the post, dude. If he's inside the paint, he's 6'10", 6'11". I mean, that's no short man down there. Like, he can hold his ground. He can run the floor, too. That's what's beautiful. Most big men can't run as well as Duren can. He's slowly working on a jump shot. Oh, my gosh. If Duren can get a jump shot going, forget it. They were close 2-1 going in the third rocker. Gotcha. After having the second seed in the division, lead 15 wins in the first round loss, dude. That's what I'm saying, Frank. Like, Jalen Duren jump shot. Speak of the devil, he hits it to go. 98-74. How about Jalen Duren with the jump shot off the inbound pass? It's so good to see from Jalen Duren. Yeah, dude, like at this point, like just make the wild card. If you make the playoffs, anything can happen. Because it's sudden death and you got one bad game like the Lions had. It's just that 15-2 season wiped away. You know what I mean? So everybody starts 0-0 in the playoffs. Clowney working inside. Can't get it to go. He's going to get fouled, though. Clowney's going to go to the free throw line for the Brooklyn Nets here. Pistons up 24. This game's pretty much out of reach here. I was hoping this would be more of somewhat of a competitive basketball game. I mean, I feel sorry for Nets fans. I mean, I don't know what the direction is of your team. You got Michael Porter Jr. I mean, you got a couple nice young pieces, but it's still super young for the Nets. Clowney first free throw is up and good. 98-75 basketball game. 10:06 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Clowney, second free throw attempt on the way. I mean, at this point, Duren is playing like an all-star right now. I would not be surprised if Jalen Duren's an all-star this year. Him and Cade working together just complement each other so well. Clowney gets a second free throw to fall. Javonte Green inside, off the mark. And it's going to be Nets basketball. They turn it over. Cade, oh, for sure. Cade is a top 10 player in the NBA right now. And... like, I'm so glad when the Pistons won the lottery, we actually had a generational athlete at number one in Cade Cunningham versus, like, the Hawks a couple of years ago when they got Zachary Rishachar, whatever his name is. That was a horrible draft class a couple of years ago. Michael Porter Jr., 3 on the way, 98-79 basketball game. Yeah, I gotta look at the list for top 10 right now. Asar inside to Javonte Green, back outside to Ron Holland for 3. Holland off the rim. Duren with another rebound. Jalen Duren is going to be an all-star. He is playing so well right now with Cade on the floor. Even without Cade on the floor, like he's holding his ground in the paint. And the two-man game between Duren and Cade this year is unguardable. Because Cade is so smart coming off the screen. He either lobs it to Duren if he's open, if he's double-teamed, or if he has an open path, he's just going to roll right to the rim and score it himself. Duncan Robinson for 3. Hits it to go. Finally, Duncan Robinson hits a 3. Yeah, Frank, that 26-game losing streak was rough. I was reacting to every single game that year. That was a rough season. Porter Jr., step back jumper off the rim, no good. Claxton jumps it inside with the foul call. He's going to go to the free throw line. Get it a 3-point play here. 9 minutes left to play here. Yeah, I mean, if Jalen Duren stays healthy, Jalen Duren is playing like an all-star right now, and it's hard because he's a big in the East, so I don't know where he would fit in. He might get a reserve spot. If he keeps playing like this, I mean, he's averaging like 22 and 12 a game right now. So, we'll see. 101-81. Yeah, just off the top of my head, I mean, I'll give you my top 10 when a commercial break happens. Cade inside. Left-handed hook. Gets it to go. Cade Cunningham can do it with the left hand and the right hand. You pick. He'll still destroy you inside the paint. 103-81 basketball game. 8:30 left to play here. That's the third consecutive three-point game. That's the longest streak of his career for Cade Cunningham. 103-81 Pistons. Foul on the Pistons. He's going to stay here with the Nets. No order, top of my head. SGA, Luka, Giannis. SGA, Luka, Giannis. I'm going to throw Cade in there. It's just so tough to say right now. Porter inside gets it to go 103-83. Duren with the basketball working inside. Duren goes straight to the hole. Oh, off the rim. Javonte Green goes down hard. Hopefully Javonte Green's all right. Javonte Green gets fouled as he's trying to clean up Duren's miss. I mean, Jokic. I don't know. Do you think Steph is top 10 right now? He's borderline, I would say. I don't know if he's currently there yet. I don't know. It's hard to put Steph there yet. 8:08 left to play here in the game. Duncan Robinson with the basketball. Back to Cade. 8:04 left to play here in the game. Cade, the lob threat once again to Jalen Duren. You cannot defend the two-man game between Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham. You can't defend it. It is one of the best two-man games in the NBA right now. Cade and Jalen Duren are cooking every defender in their path right now. Porter for three. Gets it to fall. Big shot from Michael Porter Jr. 7:30 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Asar Thompson. Yeah, I think Asar's on his way. Cade, another inbound pass to Duren. Unfortunately, Duren lost control here. Here comes Clowney back the other way for the Nets. Nets inside to Claxton. Slams it home here for the Brooklyn Nets. 105-88 basketball game. 7:09 left to play. Asar's on his way. I still think Asar's 2-3 years away, but Asar's working in the right direction. Cade inside jump shot, good. 107-88 Pistons. The Sixers game is going to be a good test for the Pistons. I mean, the Nets, they're the Nets, right? But the Sixers, they're a good team. Maxey and Embiid, keep this up, and that's going to be a good test for the Pistons. Nets turn it over. Cade Cunningham back the other way to full court. Duncan Robinson trying to catch it inside to Cade. Cade with the slam. 109-88. The Nets got to take a timeout. They're putting the nail in the coffin. And the Pistons, 109-88. You can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. Absolute masterclass tonight from Cade Cunningham. 109-88 Pistons. The old Jazz team. Yeah, Asar's just such a good athletic freak that can just defend anybody in the NBA right now. I wish he had a jump shot. He's working slowly on a jump shot. He's still super young. This is his third season in the NBA, so he'll be fine. I love our core, dude. Our core is just so solid. Yeah, top 10. You know what? I think Alperen Şengün is top 10. Şengün's been playing really well for the Rockets this year. I'm going to throw Şengün in the mix. Yeah, no order. Wemby, Jokic, Şengün, Luka, SGA. What is that, 5? I'm going to throw Cade in there, Giannis. The last two are tough. I mean, are you going to throw Brunson in there? Brunson and Edwards? Maybe? I know Brooklyn isn't that good, but they're getting paid too, man. Right, that is true. That is true. They are an NBA basketball team. They are an NBA team. And to be fair, they were up 10 at one point in the first half. Yeah, but I don't know the direction that the Brooklyn Nets are going in. I mean, they had that little stint when they had Harden, KD, and Kyrie at one point. But Michael Porter Jr., franchise player. So, good luck, Nets. Yeah, I would say those are roughly 10. I think Cade's top 10. His IQ is just so smart, and he plays so effortlessly. He knows exactly where to dish it off to. He finds the open guy every time. He's limiting his turnovers. I mean, I don't even know what his plus-minus ratio is when he's on the floor. Yeah, I mean, like, Pistons stay healthy. Why can't they be a top 4 or 5 team in the East this year? Like, Celtics are injured. Pacers, they just went to the finals. They're not going to come back. You know, you got teams. The Magic, I think, are going to be on the come up. I think the Magic are going to be good down the stretch. Bane's going to figure it out. Yeah, I got to put Edwards in there. Yeah, Cade's top 10. I'm pretty confident in saying that. Like, as my unbiased opinion, even though I'm a Pistons fan, but still, he's playing like it. Back from the commercial break here. 6 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. Porter inside to Claxton. Claxton dunked on Cade. That's a tiny little poster right there. Cade was kind of behind him, though. 109-90 basketball game. Approaching the last 6 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. Cade with the basketball. Working outside. Javonte Green for 3. Off the mark here. Javonte Green gets his own rebound. Green looking at the ref like, where's my foul call? Cade back outside of Duncan. Duncan thought about a 3, working inside to Asar. Asar gets it to go. 111-90 basketball game in the fourth quarter here. Pistons up 21. Brooklyn Nets coming back the other way. Claxton off the miss. Back to the Pistons, coming back the other way. Javonte Green to full court. Here comes Cade. Cade Icewood back to Javonte Green. Javonte Green with the nice left-handed layup. He gets it to go. 113-90. And the Nets got to take another timeout here. They're down to their last timeout. 113-90 basketball game. This game's pretty much over. 5 minutes left to play. In regulation, they're going to start getting their second stringers in here. And we're going to be headed to Philly. 7-2. Pistons record to start the season. Did not expect that at all from this team. Without Jaden Ivey and Tobias. Top 4, I mean, yeah, like if you take a look at the East, I don't know if the Bulls are going to sustain this or not. I mean, they're 6-1. They're playing well right now. We'll see. I mean, they might be the shocker in the East. I wouldn't doubt it. But I think there's 4 teams that are better than the Pistons. And it's Cleveland, New York, Milwaukee, and borderline Philly. If Embiid's healthy, it's going to be tough to beat the Sixers. But yeah, I mean, like, if we're healthy, I don't see why we can't be a top 5 team in the East. Magic are going to be on their way. It's weird because, like, the Pistons got the 6th seed last year. They had way better three-point shooting, though, with Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley, who are both not on the team anymore. But it's going to come down to Jaden Ivey. If Ivey comes back and he plays like an all-star, the sky is the limit for this Pistons team. You have a top 10 player in the NBA in Cade Cunningham. You've got a really nice rising star in Jalen Duren. And it's going to come down to Jaden Ivey. If Ivey can become the Robin to Cade's Batman, this team is going to be scary in the East. Granted, we did lose to good teams so far. We've lost to the Bulls or the 1 seed. We beat the Rockets. We got destroyed by the Cavs. Beat the Magic. I think the Magic are going to be a playoff team this year. But the Sixers on Sunday, that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good test for the Stones. I mean, Tyrese Maxey and Embiid are no joke. Maxey's playing out of his mind right now. They're not going to have Paul George in that game. He's out for another week, I think. So, that Sixers game, Sunday night. I'll be here breaking it down. Yeah, if we get the Knicks again with a healthy beef stew, that's going to be an interesting series. I mean, we literally were like a couple shots away from forcing a game 7. So, 15 dunks tonight, ties Pistons most since 1996. Crazy, dude. 5 minutes left to play here in the game. Pistons and Nets got their second stringers in. Nets gets it to go. Huge three-pointer. Well, huge three-pointer. He hits a three-pointer, though. I believe that's Wilson for the Nets. So Dennis Jenkins comes into the game here for the Pistons. I believe Cade Cunningham and Asar and Jalen Duren are done for the night. But Pistons are going to take care of business here. 5 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Pistons, Stones. The Stones. That's just another name for the Pistons. Javonte Green at the stripe here. First free throw on the way is up and in for Javonte Green. Pistons are in the bonus. 4:54 left to play here in the first half. Javonte Green, second free throw on the way. Up and in. Here come the Brooklyn Nets the other way. Got their second unit in. Be honest with you guys. Trying to figure out who these guys are for the Nets. Sharp gets it back outside. Nets inside working on Paul Reed. Gets it up and good. That's Liddell for the Brooklyn Nets. 115-95. 4:30 left to play here in the game. 4:24 left to play here. Duncan Robinson at the top of the key. Gets it back outside to Asar. Asar inside. Jump shot no good. Paul Reed with the rebound. Paul Reed slams it home for the Pistons. 117-95. 4:08 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Asar Thompson swipes it away, blocks it. Get it out of here. Coming back the other way for the Pistons. Duncan Robinson gives it up to Dennis Jenkins. Jenkins inside, works it all the way around to Asar. Asar trying to find the open man. He spins. Jump shot off the rim. No good. Here come the Nets back the other way. Wilson back the other way for the Nets. Guarded by Javonte Green. Wilson outside for Sharp. And Sharp knocks down a three. 117-98 Pistons. 3:20 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Looks like you're going to get Bobby Klintman and Chaz Lanier checking into the game for the Pistons. Duncan Robinson thought about a three. Back outside to Jenkins. Jenkins to the rim. Nice right-handed finish. Gets it to go. 119-98 Pistons. 3 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. Nice defense from Duncan Robinson. It's going to be going back the other way for the Pistons. 3 minutes left to play here. So you got Chaz Lanier checking into the game here for the Pistons. Second round draft pick out of Tennessee. 119-98 basketball game. Duncan and Asar both done for the night. You got Jenkins, Bobby Klintman. To the roll. To the rim. Gets it to go. 121-98. 2:45 left to play here in the game. This game's over. Pistons are in the bonus. Powell. Jenkins working on Powell. Powell gives it upside to Sharp. Sharp back to Wilson for the Nets. Wilson back outside to Powell. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Powell puts it up. Good. 121-100. 2:22 left to play here in the fourth quarter. If you guys are new to the stream, hit the like button. Subscribe if you guys are new. Tell a friend about this loser that calls the Pistons games. Jenkins gets followed by Sharp. And Jenkins is going to go to the free throw line here to knock down some free throws. We're going to be doing Pistons and Sixers this Sunday, guys. Sunday night basketball. We also got the Lions-Commanders game. I'm going to try and do as many Pistons games as I can this year for you guys. Like I said, if you guys are new, like the stream. It helps me out a lot. Subscribe. If you guys Want to, it helps me out. If you guys decide you hate my guts later, you can unsubscribe for free. It's all good as well. I promise I won't cry in a corner. It's all good. 2:07 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Jenkins, first free throw off the mark. Second free throw on the way here for Jenkins. Can't get it to go. Misses both free throws. 2 minutes left to play here in regulation. Pistons are going to seal the deal here with a victory. Only thing I got to get used to is these timeouts. I got to get used to doing the timeouts better. Paul with the basketball. Nets off the rim. Clintman with the basketball. It's going to be a loose ball foul going against Powell. Pistons back the other way, and Clintman's going to be shooting some free throws. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, man. Hope you guys are having a great Friday night. Pistons, yet again, another dominant win here. .148 left to play here in the game. Bobby Clintman at the free throw line here. Duren, 30 points, 11 boards, 3 steals. Clintman off the mark. Kate Cunningham, 34 points, 10 assists. Asar, 14 and 4. Yeah, Karis LeVert, 10 points off the bench, leading scorer. Hopefully Beef Stew's okay. Only played 10 minutes in this game, but he kind of rolled his ankle earlier in the game. Hopefully he's fine, though. He had to check out of the game, though. I think that was more of just kind of a precautionary measure, especially against the Nets. It's like, don't really need to rush him. So Clintman misses both free throws here. Powell back outside. Wilson hits a huge jump shot for the Brooklyn Nets. A huge jump shot. 121-103. Jenkins with the basketball. Working inside. Goes to the rim. And Jenkins is going to go to the free throw line here. 1:25 left to play here in the fourth quarter. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your Friday night. Pistons are going to get a huge win on the road against the Brooklyn Nets. First game of the Emirates play-in cup game, whatever you want to call it. Jenkins off the miss once again. Third stringers can't hit free throws. Come on, Pistons. 122-103 here. There's a fan getting tossed right now, chirping the Pistons bench. There's a fan that's getting ejected right now out of the game. He was chirping the Pistons bench right now. They won't show it, but that's what Blaha just said in the broadcast. This Nets fan is chirping the Pistons bench. Yeah, buddy, you're 1-8. Yep, keep chirping it up, Nets. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, we all know Pistons, Malice at the Palace years ago against the Pacers. Anybody remember that? Pistons are fully aware of getting fans involved in basketball games. Jenkins at the free throw line. 122-103 here. It's both free throws, 123-103. Excuse me, 122-103. He had one of them there. Nets, minute left to play here. Powell with the basketball, turns it over. Pistons back the other way. Oh, looks like they're going to call it off the Nets, though. Looked like it fell off a Nets player. It looks like it's going to stay here, though, with the Nets. So, Tobias, hopefully he can get back for Sunday. I mean, he's been traveling with the team, so usually when that happens, the injury isn't really too serious. If it was a more serious injury, he would stay home. So, he should be okay. So, Nets draw a foul here. 1 minute left to play here in regulation. Jalen Duren, 30 points, 11 boards. Fifth double-double of 20 or more points this season. Cade, third consecutive game with 30 or more points. 34 points, 10 assists. Cade's got 6 assists alone to Duren tonight. Sharp knocks it down, 122-104. You're looking at the next best great duo 1-2 punch in the NBA right here. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. Duren is 21 years old. He's going to turn 22, I think, next week. Nets off the miss. Pistons look like they're going to run out the clock here. Man will have to play here. Duncan Robinson didn't really have himself the best game, but Cade and Durham were able to pick up the slack here. Hopefully Beef Stew's all right. Chaz Lanier for 3. Off the mark. Paul Reed with the rebound. Chaz Lanier shoot another 3. Off the mark. Bobby Clinton with the rebound. Ball still flying all over the place. Paul Reed back to Chaz Lanier. Chaz Lanier outside to Paul Reed. Paul Reed to Dennis Jenkins for 3. Jenkins off the mark. Another offensive rebound for Paul Reed. Paul Reed still staying here. Behind the back pass to Javonte Green. Javonte Green hits it. How about a behind the back pass from Paul Reed to Javonte Green? 125-104. 18 seconds left to play here. Dennis Jenkins with the steal. Coming back the other way. Dennis Jenkins. Oh, he tried to slam it home. He's going to miss it though. Paul Reed. We got a foul call with 9 seconds left. Oh my gosh, dude. 125-107. Looks like the Paul Reed misses both free throws here. 125, and it looks like it ended up being 125-107, guys. Brooklyn Nets hit a random 3 at the end there. And that's going to wrap it up. Pistons 125, Nets 107. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. You guys are freaking awesome. Thanks again for being here, guys. Love you all. God bless. God is great. Looking forward to the next live stream. Pistons, 76ers. Be here to be square Sunday night. Going to be a good game. Love you all. God bless. Have a good rest of your Friday night. Adios, amigos.